Wembley down to every town, the roar is rising now. Red and white beneath the lights, hear the whole world sing aloud.
From the streets of London town to the flags in every hand, dreams are burning brighter now. Football's coming back again.
Oh, raise the banners to the sky.
Hear the nation come alive.
Side by side, we stand as one tonight. Three Lions of 2026.
Hearts on fire, we won't give in.
Through the thunder and the noise,
England marching with one voice.
Three Lions of 2026.
Feel the passion deep within.
Every city, every street.
Hear the whole world move its feet.
England, England,
Oh,
England. We've dreamed these nights 1,000 times.
now the moment's here.
Generations standing proud.
With hope instead of fear.
From the pubs to packed out fan zones.
Voices echo far and wide.
One more chance to write the story.
With the nation unified.
Raise the banners to the sky.
Hear the nation come alive.
Side by side, we stand as one tonight. Three Lions of 2026.
Hearts on fire, we won't give in.
Through the thunder and the noise.
England marching with one voice.
Three Lions of 2026.
Hear the roar across the land.
From the young to old alike.
England shining through the night. Football's
Coming home.
Of course it's coming home. We've had one good game. We've scored a few goals. We're going to win the World Cup, aren't we, Wayne?
We bloody well are, Chris.
Welcome along, everybody. I don't know about... Well, I think Wayne is as well. Probably see how red my face is. I mean, it's... I actually said I was going to go to Lanzarote to cool down.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Yeah. Well, it's crazy, isn't it? You can go somewhere like... Because we had that mini heat wave as well about a month ago, wasn't it? And it was hotter here than it was abroad.
Well, I argued with that because you were sending me messages about how warm it was back here, and yet, oh, hang on, I'm taking the ecstasy again. I'm bouncing everywhere. Do I look now like? Do I look like I was flashing then? Not
Chris, but although you've said that a few times, I've not particularly noticed it. A few times you've froze a couple of times on different shows, but it's only once in a blue moon, mate.
It's like I'm doing the robot dance for Peter Crouch. Yes, I did argue that even if we were the same temperatures, I had the better views in Miami. What am I saying? In Lanzarote. I don't think there was many women walking around in bikinis around Leicester, but you never know. You never know.
A couple of those vistas, Chris, when you were having a drink, were really nice, weren't they?
Oh, just a bit. England versus Croatia. We played them the other day. Was it as good a performance as we remembered, or are we watching it with sort of England tinted glasses on?
Well, if you're a fan, you've got to do that, haven't you? We all love our country. So the fans of the lower teams love getting a draw against top teams like Spain and what have you. So, but I think that was one of the more dominant performances. Yes, there are other teams now. Portugal today, sort of Norway. There are other teams, Argentina. I think this is shaping up to a really good World Cup for all the reasons, and that includes we've got a fully functioning team, it seems, with good subs, a manager that Yeah, I rate what Tuchel did in that game.
Yeah, he knows when and how to do his subs, doesn't he?
He does, mate, and they're effective when they come on. Like Rashford came on, he was effective. Yeah, and look, it is nice to have a depth of quality players, isn't it? That's how Arsenal won the league this year, because they've
Yeah.
got a squad of all their squad are literally first team Premier high grade quality. So yeah, it's really exciting, to be honest, Chris. We've got loads of great attacking talent. As you said, iffy first couple of goals, but the second half was a brilliant performance.
Can we take that though into today's game?
I should bloody well hope so, Chris. I should bloody
I mean,
well hope so.
and my worry is that we're looking at it here, and I'll get people's chatting in a second. But I'm looking at it here and I'm thinking, well, look, we started with the hardest game. And no disrespect to Ghana and Panama, but they should be easier. But it would just be like England to go and draw the next two games, wouldn't it?
Well, it would. It's like Spain's result. You know, Spain historically don't start very well and they come good. But look, Croatia, a really good side, actually. I didn't realise they were 11th. I thought they dropped down into the 20s, to be honest. So against a team that's 11th in the world, that is a good result.
Yeah.
You know.
And as you said, you know, we kept Modric really quiet, didn't we?
We did. He went off, didn't he? Got subbed.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, you know me, I mean, you're a very positive sort of guy. I'm the sort of guy that would get sacked after one night at the Samaritans. You know, but I am a half full. And I'm just thinking, right, Panama probably is the game that scares me most.
Yeah, I think so. I think some of the well, we used to use the term minnows, didn't we?
Yes,
But I
we did.
don't think there are. I don't think there are. I mean, I watched some of the games last night. I'm trying to think. I'll have to get the app up. Some of the games. I mean, the quality of the football, even through, you know, I watched Jordan and who was it? Jordan and Algeria.
France. Oh,
And
Algeria, yes.
2-1. Yeah,
Yeah.
really, really good. I mean, I'm pleased for Mahrez. And I'm also pleased for like teams like Egypt because they've not got out the knockout stages, have they? So Salah's never played in a knockout stage of the World Cup. So yeah, there are some great teams in there, and yeah, teams like Panama, they are dangerous, no question. If you give them a chance in front of goal, they have a pretty good chance of scoring, certainly more than Dakar.
Yeah, what a shame Zambia aren't in our group. Got to say hi to Andreas. How you doing? Clibbo is in. Hi, Clibbo. How are you? How's the dog? Nate's in from America. Clibbo, this is the game that I picked as a tough game. Look, we all looked at it and we all thought, hello, you know, but Croatia's going to be the hard game. I just hope, like I say, we don't let that get in our way. I mean, look, just looking at the recent scores here. Earlier on, Portugal 5, Uzbekistan 0. Unfortunately, Ronaldo scored a few goals there. I can't stand that man. Jordan 1, like you said last night, Algeria 2. I saw a bit of that and I thought Jordan was very unlucky.
100%, Chris. They're a brilliant team.
And Norway made hard work of Senegal, only beating them 3-2.
Yeah.
Iraq 0, France 3. I guess that was one what you'd say was expected. Argentina 2, Austria 0. Again, probably expected. Messi getting a double there. New Zealand 1, Egypt 3. Let's be honest with you, Egypt should have been winning that, shouldn't they?
Yeah, well, New Zealand started really well, actually. They started really well. So, and they're fit and well coached, but yeah, Egypt. I am pleased for Salah, to be honest. And it's nice that the forwards, because I do fancy football league, and the forwards this year for the
No, do you?
Yeah, but the forwards in the Premier League, they've had a real crap season, to be honest. Haaland had a storming first half, and he's been woeful for the second half. You know, and you got your Foden's injured, your Palmer's injured, Salah nowhere to be seen. Ollie Watkins, I think, is the only one that's really shone in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But I mean, Ghana, they are dangerous as in the speed of them, aren't they? I mean, you've got Semenyo, which is
He didn't play in the first game, but they're starting with, and we'll come on to their team in a minute, but they have got Ayew up front. I just have had to correct a Coventry City fan, because we all know that Coventry City fans, what they know about football, you can write on the back of a postage stamp. And they were saying that Jordan Ayew, League One, and yet he's starting. And I'm like, yeah, do your homework. He's not actually League One because we've let him go. So I'll probably get a load of abuse for that now. I've got to say,
you love a bit of abuse, though, don't you, Chris? You love a bit of abuse and banter.
I like to call it banter, But big topic today that's come up. It's hotter here than it is in Boston. Should they be having a hydration break?
Is it an open air stadium, Boston? I'm not sure, because if it's air conditioned, what's it, 22 degrees, something like that. You know, so that is okay.
Thing is, though, and this was my argument that I had the other night with Craig. Believe it or not, I argued with Craig. Look, a lot of the time I'm playing devil's advocate, as you know. But the thing is, if they do it for one game, surely, yeah, I know, Clibo, exactly. If they do it for one game, surely they've got to do it for all the games. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you Shirley there, but you know what I'm saying.
Airplane, I love that film.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, it's open air, yeah. And I get that, Chris, because you don't want people saying that those teams in that match had it, but we didn't, you know, because we got all the mess with the AFL and the Premier League. So, yeah, I get why they're being consistent. I do.
Yeah.
I think it's a conspiracy to turn soccer into a 4-quarter game, Chris. That's what I think. Not a game of 2 hours, a game of 4 quarters.
Well, yes, but you know the story with Jack Charlton at the last time it was in America. And I just think, like, when it's hot like that, I think you've got to. Otherwise, you are going to. I mean, look, I love Christian Eriksen. I feel really sorry for him for what he's done. But this would kill him if there wasn't breaks, if he was playing here. And Jack Charles said last time, you're going to have players die on you. Now, I know Craig's point is like, oh, they're playing football and music in it, and it's an ad break for America and all this. Well, that's up to the individuals. And I was watching a program the other day about why LTiDtv don't play adverts during the water breaks. And apparently it's not because they don't want to. It's financial. It's Ofcom, basically. Ofcom say you can only advertise so many minutes in an hour. So if they were to advertise that, they would have to lose advertising somewhere else. So, yeah, that's why they've not done it. But
in America, they have a lot more adverts per hour of program, don't they, in America?
Well, yeah, and they do. Look, you know what I'm like with NFL.
You love it, Chris. You love it.
No,
if you go to your first game, you'll be hooked.
Well, you'll be there with me for my first game. You know, we will see. We will see. Yeah, I think, and all this sort of, it breaks the game up. What the fucking hell do we think players have been doing for the last 100 and odd years? You know, why does the goalkeeper go down in the last 10 minutes on his arse, going, "Oh, I've hurt my leg. Oh, I've got stitch"? It's to break the game up.
It is, but I do like. One reason I love this World Cup is like we love being in the Championship because you haven't got that crap VAR. Yeah. And then you look at the FIFA World officials. operating VAR and officiating on games, and you think, wow, they're doing a brilliant job. Yeah, one or two, yeah, I get it, but there's going to be one or two mistakes. But we're not getting as, you know, sometimes we've had breaks like the guys on Match Today. We've had breaks for 3.5, 4 minutes, and the VAR officials still come up with the wrong human decision.
Yeah. But that said, they're a lot quicker in this World Cup than they are in the Premier League.
100%. I've been very, very impressed, Chris.
Yeah. Right, shall we have a look at the England squad?
Come on, Chris. Do you know what? It's actually quite happy and joyful to do that rather than some tournaments in the past thinking, oh, go on then.
I know what you mean. There's actually only 2 changes from the team that played against Croatia. Spence and Ayew have replaced O'Reilly and Stones. Do you think that's good?
I like O'Reilly. His stats for this season are brilliant. He plays as a number 10, but he does play left back, and he's been very impressive for Man City. He was one of those players like Semenyo and Gay for Man City who really were, when they weren't playing very well, hard and everything. And I love. He was in my fantasy team all season. Gay, yeah. His stats are brilliant. And
I was surprised he didn't start against Croatia, to be honest with you.
100%. Look, sometimes it's like we've criticised the manager for not playing Jordan James, but then he said afterwards in the post-match interview, look, he's got an injury. He got a bad ankle and we couldn't start him. We were really worried if we did. So that could have been the reason. But Spence is rapid. Yeah. Exciting team, Chris. No Saka again, interestingly, though.
Sorry?
No Saka again.
No. And I get that. I mean, look, it's tournament football, so the games come quick and fast. I mean, it's been what? It's been less than a week, isn't it? It's been about 5 days, isn't it, since we played?
Yeah.
And, you know, players that may be carrying a bit of a knock, which we know Saka is, you're going to take, you know, you're not going to have them playing, well, it's 100 minutes every game, are you? And, you know, and again, I'm saying there's no disrespect to Ghana or Panama. You don't risk Saka in one of those games, do you? No,
you don't. And look, even Arsenal, because I've got a mate who play football with his Arsenal, I regularly chat with him, have a pint, sometimes after football, and I regularly ask him about Arsenal, about Max Dowman, Saka, and yeah, so he has been injured for quite a bit of the season, and Madueke has played a lot of minutes, and he's come back, but he's obviously not 100% fit, I don't think. And you don't want him to get damaged and not be in the squad at all, do you? That's the thing.
Well, that's the thing. Why is it with England? Because every time we go to a World Cup or a Euros, we always seem to take one player that's carrying an injury. Look, I'm going to come out and try and come back in. If you can answer that and just have some general chat before I come back in, but I am all over the place.
Yeah. Okay, mate. No worries.
Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, so I don't know what people think in the chat with regards to the selection. If there's anybody that thinks should have been playing in the team. You know, I think most fans think he's been quite forward-thinking and brave in his selection. I mean, are you guys in the chat, did you think Gay should have started? Were you happy with Madueke and Gordon out wide? You know, because it's interesting chatting with different people. We all see different things. Yeah, so how confident are you that we'll get a victory against Ghana? So, you know, the danger men are 100% Clivo, 100%. I think the England team it seems to be more balanced. Yeah, we did let 2 goals in against, and we got a bit sloppy against Croatia in the first half, but I wasn't ever panicking. I mean, I remember like biting my nails loads of times at Fatawu United and other competitions, but I'm quite confident in England. I've chatted with lots of my different customers, and they're really quite confident. Go on, Clibo, 2-1 England. Love it. Love it. Yeah, because I know like we've had 5-0 with Norway, but you got your Argentinas and your strong sides, but a lot of teams are strong. A lot of teams are strong. Ghana have some good players. It'd be interesting to see. I don't know if the team news has come out for Ghana as to whether whether is Fatawu injured. Why didn't he play the other day? Nate says 3-1. Love it, Nate. Get in. It's interesting because obviously Clibo's like Chris being realistically optimistic, but Nate's saying 3-1. Hey, Chris, look at you. You're back, mate.
I'm back. Am I being optimistic?
I think Clibo's being realistic, but thinks we'll just get it. And Nate's saying 3-1. A couple of customers I spoke to, they said they could see England getting 4 or something, so it's quite interesting, really.
You think if you would get 4 against Panama, against Croatia, that you're going to get 4 against these guys, but I don't know. It's just I don't want to get too optimistic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On that. But looking at this team, I mean, apart from the obvious, this looks like it's going to be a starting team going forward, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, Anderson.
Apart from maybe the back 4, but I think this
Yeah. I mean, Consort, he's had a brilliant season. I mean, Consort and Gay together, that's why I wanted, because they're quick as central defenders. They're really quick. Great football players. Anderson, I mean, my goodness, he's quality, isn't he? Anderson is absolute quality. Did you give him man of the match, Chris? Or a couple of guys gave him man of the match, didn't they? Was it Reece and Tom?
Possibly, yes. Yeah.
And Spence and James, the 2 fullbacks, brilliant, world-class quality.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still jumping all over the place here.
To be honest, I don't think Spence would have particularly got a game, got in the squad with other managers, but I think Tuchel, and when he came on, I thought he played brilliantly, Spence. So rapid, isn't he?
He is, yeah. I mean, talking about rapid, that's what this team's got, isn't it? This team has got speed.
It has. Gordon's fast. He didn't, like you said, he didn't feature so much because we were going down the right side with Madueke. And sometimes that's how games are tilted on the side. Yeah, we have got speed. And what was nice is Bellingham seems happy and up for it. Whereas in a few games, he's been mardy, hasn't he? He's not been happy.
No. Guys, let me know in the chat if I am jumping about all over the place. Don't know whether the heat's got into the old internet or what, I don't know, but I've got 2 fans on me here. It's so warm. Is it warm up there is it Shepshed, mate?
Sorry, mate. Yeah, it is. It's lovely.
Sorry.
It's lovely, Chris. Lovely, Chris. When you work outside and you have to go through the winter, but it's not all of a sudden. Well, this heat has been sudden, hasn't it?
Yes. And it's going to get warmer for the next 2 days as well. Look, Harry Kane is the player we all hate when he was at Tottenham, but loved it when he was pulling on an England shirt. And he comes into this game level on goals with Gary Lineker.
Yes.
As well as England's top scorer in World Cup history with 10 goals. So if he scores today, he's England's most successful goal scorer in World Cups.
He is. What I think what's interesting is, so a lot of people, I even said I think Kane might get a golden boot, and a few of the footy lads said, but He's only got 2 goals in. Messi's got 5. He nearly got another hat trick, didn't he, Messi? Did you see?
But again, I've got to say, you'd expect maybe Kane to get a hat trick against the likes of Panama, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but you still got to find the net, Chris. Mbappe got 2. Haaland got another 2.
Yeah,
The Golden Boot is going to be interesting this year.
it is. It is. Nate said it's 42 degrees there, and he needs a hydration break. I'm just looking at an image here of the Boston Stadium, and I don't know why they've got a lighthouse on the stadium. I don't know what. I don't know if you've seen an image of Boston Stadium.
It's a seaport, isn't it, Boston? The Boston Tea Party, a big
Oh, yes,
yeah,
yes. Oh my
a
God, you
big,
know your
big
history.
yeah, port.
You do know your history. Well, let's have a look at, and I don't know why they've done it like this, but this is Ghana for you. This is their starting lineup. As you can see, Jordan Ayew. Oh, he's in the starting lineup. But there's no Fatawu in the starting lineup.
No, I'll take a photo so I can pinch it out. Yeah. Oh, Thomas Party. They got Thomas Party in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, Jordan
Semenyo, like we've been
Ayew.
saying. Yeah.
You've
Uh,
highlighted Jordan Ayew, haven't you, Chris?
sorry?
You've highlighted in colour Jordan Ayew. Is that
No,
you?
I haven't done that. But
Haven't you?
no. That's I think he must be captain. I think that's why.
I mean, normally the number 9 strikes fear in the defensive opposition, doesn't it?
it does. It does. Like Clivo said, he'll go and score against us now. I've actually put a bet on him. I think it was 750 to 1 to get a hat trick. So, so the bookie looked at me and went, "Think my money's safe here?" But no, joking aside, that's a group. It doesn't. It's cement. If we can nullify Semenyo, I think we're on the way to controlling the game. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I loved him playing for Bournemouth. He was such a standout player, and they've sold a few really good players in the last couple of seasons. But when he went to Man City, because normally you go to Man City like Mahrez, and you fit in with Pep's side, and you end up being a rotational player and scored a 25. But that's
Yeah,
what I said. He signed Gay, and he's played virtually every single minute. Semenyo played virtually every single minute when he was rotating. So Semenyo is very, very fit. He's physical. And I watched him play for Bournemouth against Man United, and he just was cutting through the defence.
yeah,
They couldn't stop him. If he's on it, he's a dangerous person, isn't he? Like you
yeah.
said, yeah.
But again, you would think, well, come on, we nullified Modric. If we can nullify Modric, the two players that really scare me, obviously, are the only two I know there. Well, I know Ayew, but he doesn't scare me. But Partey and Semenyo, they've gone 4-3-3 against our 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you know my thoughts on 4-2. Oh, what I'll say on
What was
4-2-3-1,
that? Sorry, Chris. What was their formation?
4-3-3.
4-3-3. Yeah, I love that. I do. Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah,
Innit? Heavy
yes.
metal football. Yeah, I love it.
We say that about Klopp. Take that one season when they won everything out the window, and he didn't really win an awful lot, did he?
No,
And I
he
know that.
didn't. But even neutrals, it was great football to watch, Chris.
Oh, I wouldn't argue with
Was.
that. I wouldn't argue with that. I used to love watching Arsenal when Wenger first came over. It was in all the French. It was absolutely beautiful. But
Well, I don't know what's happened there, guys, but my internet kicked off for a bit, and I think Chris is struggling as well. So, can you
I'm back.
guys hear and see me? Yeah, no, that Inaki Williams is Inaki or Inaki. It can be he's very fast, and that's what I was saying about Ghana. They have got some
Hopefully Wayne will
dangerous
join us.
fast
And I
players
do.
up front.
I went. I didn't realise.
I think Chris's internet is struggling a bit. I think he needs to move one of those fans facing his computer. He's got 2 fans in the room. Yeah, and Mohammed Kudos as well. They are very fast, and maybe that's why he's got Gay back in and not Stones, because a few of us thought that Stones struggled a little bit in that game. But Martin Gay is very fast, isn't he? He can cover it really well. Got good footballing brain. So no Fatawu in the squad, which is interesting. Makes you wonder whether he's carrying an injury at all.
Now I'm here. I can't see Wayne. Are you there, Wayne?
I am. Can you hear me, Chris?
I really apologise for this, ladies and gentlemen. Are you there, Wayne?
I am, Chris. Can you see me?
Doesn't look like Wayne is in. It looks like Wayne's gone out. Oh, I can hear him. He's popping. It sounds like he's in again. Hey!
I don't know whether it's the actual StreamYard site, Chris, because we both went off at one stage.
I think, well, I know the internet here is absolutely awful. Whenever it's slightly either too hot or it's raining a lot, then it can go all over the place. The thing with StreamYard is it's using cameras and microphones, and so it's using more than everything else. I am sweating like a nun's underwear here. I tell you.
You know, I had a question once. I said, you know, because when you wear these shirts, they are basically like Baco foil, aren't they?
Yes.
And I said,
yes.
do professional footballers? And they said, no, the professional footballers don't have these shirts. They have the shirts made out of the best materials.
Yes. Yeah. Well, when you order the shirts these days, you can order a fan shirt or a team shirt.
Right. I didn't know
I've ordered a shirt for one of the other nations that I actually like. So no, it's not Belgium away, Craig. And it was an extra £4 to order the team one. So I thought, sod that, I'm going to order the team one. What I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, and thanks to everybody that stuck with it, really do appreciate that. If Russell Martin, see, I mentioned Russell Martin, and that's why it
Chris, what are you doing?
Yeah. If he plays the sort of 4-2-3-1 that Tuchel played the other night, I'll love 4-2-3-1.
Sorry, say that again, Chris. If he plays
4-2-3-1 in the same style that Tuchel played it the other night, I'll love it.
Yeah, I'm not such a big believer in the system, so I think like with our squad, the 4-2-3-1 just hasn't worked for a couple of years because we've had slow, unfit players with a bad attitude. And if you're playing 4-2-3-1, you do any high pressing. What was interesting when we played Croatia is the different stages in that first half that England and Croatia did the high press. So they didn't do it all the time. It was like a game of chess in the first 20 minutes because you can't keep that on all match, and you need to, you can't high press for 90 minutes.
No.
But you sort of, I think the 4-2-3-1, I think the personnel are more important than the system. So, because we had the personnel, we did the Great Escape and won the Premier League. and we had the right people on the day and won the FA Cup. But systems are really important, and if you get the right system and wrong system, it can make a game. But sometimes you can have 4-2-3-1, but position everybody 10 yards further back down the pitch.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
you can be 10 yards further up the pitch where you want to go for it more. So, or you might do the high press, but only high press as a 3 or a 4 or a 5, whereas sometimes they do a press as a whole team. So there's loads of different sort of factions in it, but it's just whether he will be flexible in his system.
This is it. Getting back onto England, Jordan Pickford's 86th cap for England against Ghana moves him above Gary Neville and alongside Kenny Sansom in the Three Lions list of fame. Of the 1,297 players to have represented England, just 15 have managed it more often than Pickford. Indeed, only Peter Shilton has been in goal more, with Shilton's 125 caps, including appearances at the 82, 86 and 90 World Cups. I mean, when you come to think, because there was a period where it was one game it was Shilton, next game it was Clements, then it was Shilton. I mean, if he'd gone with Shilton for all those games, God knows how many caps he would have had.
Yeah, it was. In fact, at one stage, I never even thought of Shilton ever retiring or not playing in goal for England, you know.
No. And obviously, I mean, the fact that always amazes me is the fact that we sold Gordon Banks to let Peter Shilton come through into the first team. I mean,
that ridiculous. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah.
It is. You know.
Do you know what's interesting? Sorry, mate.
I was going to say West Ham always claim that they won the World Cup for us. I think you'll find it was Banks of England that won it.
What was interesting in that in that Dear England, the Gareth Southgate thing, one thing he does is when the players come in, he gives them the shirt, to give it in the box. The present the players, like, you know, you're playing for England, and he mentions you're the 1,210th player for England, and he talks about the history of English players and some of the greats that played for England. So it was something else you think, yeah, that's quite a cool thing to do, actually.
You do know it's not a documentary, don't you?
I do, but I love listening to historical dramas like War of the Roses, The Romans, and those are all sort of fictional, but they're based, you know, they've got real historical battles in, you know, actual characters. But then they just join all the dots, and you know,
thank you, Stuart. I do apologise. We are reliant on modern technology here. Apparently, 83% chance of England winning this game. A draw is 13% and Ghana 5%. So no pressure here, England. But let's have a look at some stats that I did earlier, and unfortunately these aren't. When we get a bit further on, and not as big as I thought they were going to be. Ignore the thrilling encounter England win. I don't know why why AI left that on. If we win today, we're through.
Yeah, that's why it was so important to. I mean, look at that, Croatia, bottom of the group. They are going to be, so when they play Panama, that's going to be a really interesting game, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. 6 points and you're through. Some teams are already through, aren't they? USA are through. Who else is through? Norway. A few of the teams are through now. So Argentina, I think France, all the old favourites,
Yeah. But yeah, it's look. I keep saying I've got to pinch myself and go on and say, come on, it's only one game. You know, it is only one game. But that's where you want to be at the top. You don't want to be in Croatia's position, where you would think if you were a Croatia fan, you'd be looking at that and going, we want to get second here.
And how many group stages have we had in the past, whether it's Euros or World Cup, where we go, you kind of draw the first game, and you think it's okay, you know, it'll be all right, we'll probably win the second game, and you draw the second game, and then you start looking at different other people in the groups, you know, and the goal difference and everything like that. Whereas if you win your first game, and you can win your second game, you take all that worry and stress out of the situation.
Yeah. Interestingly here, and I'm just reading this off FIFA, The feeling among some English media today is that Thomas Tuchel is the perfect candidate to finish the job done by predecessor Gareth Southgate during his 8-year reign as Three Lions coach. Southgate's England lost semi-finals at the 2018 World Cup and the 2019 UEFA Nations League. They were quarter-finalists of Qatar in 2022, and they reached the finals of UEFA Euro 2020 and 24, losing to Italy and Spain respectively. So the obvious next step is to win a trophy, and with England team, that's playing with real energy, intensity, and freedom. I mean, it does. This is what we're saying, and this is what Reece is saying a lot. You know, we've got, look, Gareth Southgate, and like I say, he's Marmite figure. You know, I love him, and I think what he did as England manager was amazing. But he failed at the last, at the last attempt. You know, we can't say, well, if he'd done this and if he'd done that, we would have definitely won. We don't know. We don't know, do we? But you know, when you look at where we were when he took over and where we are when he left, Thomas Tuchel's come in and he's probably the perfect guy. He's got probably everything that Southgate had as a manager of a national team, but I think he's got that tactical nous that Southgate probably didn't have.
100%, Chris, and I think his selection for the squad and the team is brave. So definitely Southgate, he loved his players, he was really loyal to his players, he wanted the best for them, he wanted England to finally get that monkey off the back about the penalty shootouts, how crap we were, historically crap, and he got us to win our first penalty shootout, and he did such a lot of good things, but it wasn't quite brave enough, I think, was the thing. Sometimes with his squad selection, and sometimes with the starting 11, and sometimes the subs he was bringing on it. And I do think that if Southgate was manager of this tournament, he probably would have taken Foden and Palmer based on the potential and what they've done in the past.
Yes.
But Tuchel has picked people like Spence, who are rocking it in the Premier League and around in clubs around Europe.
Yeah. Stuart, apparently comments, I don't know if it's still or not, but comments are taking around 4 minutes to show. All I can say is bear with us. We've had a few technical issues, as you will have
Not
seen.
literally bear with us, Chris, just clarify that.
Yeah. Although having said that, I could sit here naked, I'd still be sweating me bollocks off. Right. Let's have a look then. This is comparing the two teams. He says, there you go. So, like I've just said, well, this is slightly different. Win probability 82.6% England, 5.2 Ghana, and the draw is 12.2. Comparing match days won for both of them, England flew past Croatia 4-2, high octane attacking style. Ghana, I mean, they only edged, like it says there, they only edged it against Panama 1-0. Disciplined, low possession game plan. If they do that, I think if they play the same way against us tonight, they could come unstuck.
I think they could. I think we have a potential to get 4 or 5 goals, but they are dangerous on the break. They are absolutely dangerous on the break, which is why I'm so happy that Mark Gay is in the starting side, because he's quick, and we've got cover there. We've got all quick back four. We've got brilliant midfield. Rice works his socks off, but he's more creative. And Anderson, sometimes you hardly noticed he was playing, but he just made everything tick, didn't he?
Yes. I mean, I'm just looking then at the stats there. I mean, we haven't got a clean sheet. That's something, we did give away 2. They were good goals, but we shouldn't have given them away. But look at that. We had 22 shots with 11 on target. In their first game, they had 7 shots with 2 on target.
Yeah. We are, we're strong we're strong attacking, Chris, whereas sometimes in the past we've struggled to connect the midfield to attack, and we've been pumping the ball long. Kane's been coming deep, not because it's part of the rotational system to shake up their defence, but just because he's frustrated, he's not getting the bloody ball.
Yes.
So I really like the dynamism and the connection of the wingers, the midfielders, and the forward.
Yeah. A couple of more stats here for you to enjoy. Just comparing again the first game. Key tactical metrics there. Attacking firepower. England generated a massive, I mean, good God. I mean, we never saw any. It was more like 0.28 at Leicester last season. It's 2.28 this season. For England. Harry Kane was highly active, taking 7 shots to score his opening brace. Let's go then. Defensive resilience. Whilst Ghana lacked attacking volume, the defensive block was incredibly busy. They racked up 28 clearances, 16 tackles, 8 interceptions. They also dominated the skies, winning 62% of aerial duels. Again, do you feel, Wayne, that this is a team that can break down a Ghana defence like that?
Yeah, I think we can. To be honest, Chris, I just like I think we've got great fluidity, which is really important. I think Tuchel's using the players and their best abilities, and that's what I like about Tuchel.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we could. I believe we'll beat them, and I think 3-1. I'm going to agree with Nate. I think Nate said early 3-1. It could be 4-1, Chris. I think we will let 1 goal in because they are dangerous.
And will that goal be Ayew?
No, it'll be Semenyo, Chris. It'll be Semenyo, either one of the wingers or forward. It won't be Ayew, I don't think.
Yeah. Speed and counter-attacks. Ghana rely on versatility. It's a new one. Versatility. Thank you. Winger Anton Semenyo recorded 17 sprints in the first match, checking a top speed of 35.35 kilometres per hour. Probably Ayew stood there going, "What was that?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I wonder what they think about his hold-up play.
Well, he started 2 games. They're relying on his experience, aren't they? Mad fools. But here, let's just have a look. There we go. This is the last slide. So, head-to-head. There hasn't been a lot of heads, if you pardon the expression. We've only played them once. And you know what it's like. The way I look at it is you can't have enough heads. England have never lost a World Cup match to an African nation, holding a record of 4 wins and 4 draws across 8 encounters. European struggles for Ghana. They struggle historically against European opposition at major tournaments, winning just 2 of their last 7 matchups. And all-time meetings, the senior men's side, like I said, they've only played them once in a friendly, 2011, and it was 1-1. The guys are in, so I'll be handing over to them in a minute to take you through the match. I'm going to go 2-0 to England.
Oh, clean sheet.
Yes. Only because of Ayew. And if they bring Fatawu on, well, if Pickford doesn't know what Fatawu's been up to, then he needs shooting. Well, Mike, what's this we? I think we will win. You Welsh, mate. What are you doing? Come on, man. Come on. We'll be back at half time. I'd like to say we'll hand you over to the stadium live in. Oh my God, it's a big close up of Jordan Ayew there. Jesus, scared me. We'll be back at half time, and it'll be a very short post match tonight because I think last time we were ready to put our nightcaps on, weren't we? So what I'll do is I shall play if I can find where it is, I will play a little video and I'll bring the guys in and they will do the commentary and take you through the match. So here we go. Thanks a lot, Wayne. I'll see you at
Cheers,
half
mate.
time. Cheers.
Enjoy the match.
And you.
Right, here we are, guys, and good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Reese. How are you, bud?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I look quite hot, actually, don't I? But I'm not, actually. It's the webcam's really poor quality because I'm on the laptop tonight. Tonight, I'm on front of a TV because obviously last time I had problems with, keeping up with the game with you, bud. So, yeah, but this one, obviously, in the books, 3 points, We completely did Dallas for England, didn't we? Now we're coming across to Boston tonight. Land of the Celtics, the Red Sox are my least favourite, the Boston Bruins. But what are your feelings tonight, mate, going into this one against a Ghana team?
I think this will be a tougher test as we're singing the national anthem now. They all look like they're a bit more passionate than usual, which is good to see. But I will suggest that we could ideally get the 3 points. Take the pressure off that last game. Go into that last game without nothing to play for, and you can play a few more of the fringe players like Saka, who's not really played. O'Reilly, get some more game time in him. 3 points ideally.
Yeah, hopefully so, mate. What do you make of the two changes? And obviously, Mark Gay's coming at centre-back tonight for John Stones. You also got Spence in for O'Reilly left-back. I mean, what's your thoughts on the changes there, mate?
I think Spence is a sensible one, and Naki Williams is a very pacey winger, has been at Atletico Bilbao for years and years, and he has got a good reputation for Ghana and for Atletico Bilbao. So a very sensible change there. A bit more experience and a bit more pace there to deal with that threat. And who was the other change? Was it? Mark Gay. Yeah, another sensible change. Deal with the physical presence of Ayew, whatever he'll bring to the game. Knowing him, he'll have an absolute stormer. But no, very sensible changes from Thomas Tuchel. Stones didn't look quite fit. Mark Gay is the more seasoned pro at the minute. And very sensible from Thomas Tuchel. I like it.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think Gahey brings a bit more pace to his game, doesn't he? And like we say, John Stones was probably the only question mark over what was really a pretty good performance. You could say the first 45 minutes last time out in Dallas wasn't perfect, but the way they ramped the game up second half, right, was pretty good all in all. So, yeah, hopefully, we'll see that change making a positive effect. And, of course, the raw pace of Spence coming in here. Of course, we're outdoors today as well again. And ironically, the weather here is a lot hotter than what it is, for hydration breaks, mate, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
So, it's funny how we're in that position. God, I look so red. This webcam's awful. I might switch it at halftime. But yeah, it's terrible. I look like I'm sweating. I'm not at all. It's just literally I've been in the sun today. But anyway, guys, yeah, we're just sitting in the stadium now. I've just been doing the national anthems and all the rest of it. Let's get to it, mate. What's your prediction for this one?
Going for a comfortable 2-0 win tonight. A clean sheet would be handy. Settle the back four a bit more, and then hopefully we can have a more settled back four going into the knockout stages if we get there. So I'm going 2-0.
Yeah, no worries. I'm a bit torn on this. I think tonight is an idea to make a bit of a statement. Of course, Ghana coming off a game where they won it in added time, 95th minute, right, against the Panama team. That showed a lot of resilience. I think tonight the roles are reversed. I think this Ghana team's going to have to show some resilience, aren't they, against what we've shown as a good performance, 45 minutes in particular last time. I'm going to go 4-1 to England. I think there's an ability. Yeah, and last time
I love it.
Mate, I went for a draw against Croatia, didn't I? But I just got a feeling tonight. I just think tonight's the night you can kind of go make a statement. Got a funny feeling about Bellingham tonight. Sort of game I can see Bellingham turning up here, as we've just seen the match officials walk onto the pitch. But yeah, no, I'm quite confident for this one. I think it'll be pretty good. I mean, of course, the other thing as well, mate, is if a disaster does happen and then we have Croatia win in their game against Panama later on at midnight tonight, we could be in a discussion for a third place finish and trying to qualify for that. So, I mean, is there any worries for us at all? Are we being a little bit too cocky going into this? Is there any danger Ghana possess?
There's always that worry with the English arrogance and a bit of cockiness in the English game, in the English players, really. But no, I don't think Thomas Tuchel will allow the players to do that. He knows he's the top dog. Whereas with Southgate, that the players kind of look down to him as like a PE teacher role sort of thing, whereas they look to him as the manager because he's got that reputation of dealing with big ego players. So there is that always worry, but let's hope we don't see it tonight, and hopefully he's beaten that out of them.
Yeah, I can agree with that as well. And I think obviously Semenyo is a guy who's been talked about as someone that might be able to play in this England starting 11 himself. So there's obviously a danger never got to look out for. Just to say hi in the chat. Hi, Andreas. Hope you're doing well. 3-1 to England. Nate, good to hear from you, mate. Someone who's not struggling in the heat because you live in the desert. So well done to you, bud. And you've gone for a 4-3 with nice with a Fatawu hat trick. I have worn the Leicester shirt tonight, as you can see, mate, because obviously there is still technically, Jordan Ayew is not under contract anymore, obviously, but there is an Abdul Fatawu there as well. I'm hoping he doesn't come off the bench tonight and cause us problems, but we see what he can do and we'll see how it gets on. We're just seeing Thomas Tuchel here, guys, on the bench. What are you seeing right now, mate? Is that in line with you?
What's that, mate? Sorry?
I'm just saying that we're just looking at the managers now, just seeing Queiroz, Man United assistant manager, the head coach. Is that where you are on your stream so we know we're lined up?
I'm looking at the stadium now from a bigger picture. You might.
Hopefully I'm ahead of you. If I'm ahead of you, that might be a bit easier. Okay.
So Thomas Tuchel's in his seat now. He's drinking a bottle of water. And now Carlos, whatever his name is, has come on the screen now.
Ideal. So I've probably got about 20 seconds on you, which is probably a better way round of doing it, because then you'll be on ready for the reaction, which would be good, mate. So we're just getting off there, guys. We had problems in the last stream, and there's been a few technical problems, obviously, on the stream already. Some of the chats have been a little bit slow. It's a hot day in England. I think the internet's been a little bit squiffy everywhere, because I was having problems getting on and watching the show from my YouTube on my app. So I think it sums up where we are. Just seeing Jordan Ayew here as well, guys, obviously ex-Leicester. Ironically, mate, would you agree with this? He's got a bit of a reputation at the moment at Ghana, like he had with Leicester. They're not very happy with him, are they?
Yeah, there's been a few boos towards his name I've been reading on social media. They've not been happy with his attitude. But, I've looked at it recently and seen that is it something we're surprised about? For me, not really. So, but no, we'll have to wait and see how he turns up as captain tonight, because it's very interesting that he's captain.
Well, exactly, and he's got something to prove because he's playing for a contract, isn't he? Somewhere else. The game's underway as we say that, guys. So Chris, you can hit that timer, mate. And it's gone back to Jordan Pickford. He's going to kick it long here, and it's going to go straight up to the far end. Ghana already with a lot of players beyond the ball here. Thomas Partey coming back in as well tonight here, Reece. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? Was he denied entry to Canada, wasn't he?
Yeah, a lot of political stuff going on there with Thomas Partey at the minute. I think.
Yeah, dangerous one to talk about, so we'll both be careful on this.
We will. A lot of political stuff going on, and Jordan Pickford's just kicked it long on my screen, so yeah, I'm way behind you, mate, so that's good. But no, I mean, he's very key to the way they play. I mean, there's no doubt about that. He's one of their best players, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's a difficult one, really, isn't it? It's not much I can comment on, really.
No, the only thing I will say is he didn't declare he was under investigation when he entered Canada. I think if he had, he would have been let in. I think that was a bit of a mismatch. Just seeing a battle here on the left-hand side of Anthony Gordon coming up against Ghana here. Comes back across to the centre mid. Reece James already pushing up into that central midfield position from right back, and Bellingham back there supporting him. So England already pressing Ghana back into their own half here after a minute on the clock.
Yeah, a lot of possession game going on. Ghana sitting in a very deep block here. They're soaking up all the pressure. I think that's what they're going to have to do if they're going to catch us on the break. They've got a lot of pace on those wings. Hopefully, it doesn't catch us out though. But I'm hoping our quality will, prevail with the amount of good passes. I tell you what, hopefully we can carry on from that passing game that we did really well. Quick one-touch passing from the Croatia game.
Yeah, that's going to be crucial, isn't it? As you can see here, like we've currently got them hemmed back in, and it's going to be a very similar game perhaps to France versus Senegal, where Senegal obviously tried to break really quickly and just tried to hold France out of it for a long time. It's a different balance to what you're going to see against the Croatia game in game one, a team that's more likely to try and take you on 50-50 in a lot more spots here. So going to be interesting how this pans out. As the time ticks on here, England is still retaining the ball between the back two, just trying to hold possession here, just trying to wait for an opportunity to perhaps open up. Weather's not going to be affected today, obviously. It's not that hot. The hydration breaks will be more needed for me, you and Nate in the chat here, I think, as well. So I think that's going to be an interesting part about tonight. We'll enjoy the hydration break. England, once again, mate, still holding on to the ball. Do you think perhaps we should try and be making some more intricate, quicker moves earlier here to try and get a foothold on this, or is it okay just to hold the ball the way we are?
Maybe, but I live by a golden rule that if we've got the ball, they can't score, and they're the ones that are going to have to get the win tonight because they've only got 1 point on the board. So this is a bigger game for them than it is for us on paper. But I would like to see us take a few risks because they've got quality players, but they've not got much quality as Croatia have. So I'd like to see a few more risks. Konsa's got the ball now at the halfway line.
Yeah, it's played forward into Reece James. He's come up and pushed up into the right wing position there, which is good. So, and just as Chris said there, no spoilers, guys. Yeah, we'll get you in trouble. We maintain that standard. And you just spoke then, mate, like a proper Russell Martin fan talking about what you liked about holding the ball. So well done to you. You're getting on board with the stuff for next season as well, bud. England here trying to push down the right side. Ghana doing a good job. Between 2 or 3 players, they just usher us back out towards halfway inside their half. Now here comes Bellingham trying to play forward, and he's overhit that pass. Unfortunately, it's going to go out of play on the far side. And let's see what you see in comments. Nate Canada is very strict on it. Yes, I know, mate. I used to, as you know, I used to live there, so I had very strict requirements. It was printed on my work visa. I couldn't work in the sex trade, which also took away a lot of my opportunity to earn income. And Prashant, Tom, were you happy with the Canadian game? Yeah, I was, mate. The 6-0 was superb, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, it's difficult for me because obviously I'm English, but obviously I've lived in Canada and experienced that culture. I do have a lot of love for the underdog sort of element of it as well. So I kind of enjoy that just as much as watching England. But there we go.
They've done a fantastic. Jesse Marsh has done a fantastic job since he's gone in there. And I watched their game against Bosnia. It was really, really good, entertaining football, very quick football to watch. And it was really good to watch.
Yeah, just as we said, Ghana have been played through here, but the offside flag has gone up, luckily. And that's going to be the danger, isn't it, Reece? Because if we sit back and we're trying to play like a mid to high block here, I know Gahey's come in as a more pacier option than John Stones. The pace there for Williams, though, just got in over the back of the last defence. So we've got to keep an eye on a good offside trap, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna be very key. You've got to time it really well with these pacey players that Ghana have got as well. So, but no, we kept a really good line there as the linesman's just put his flag up on my screen. So, yeah, got to be very, very key. He's well offside there, but a good defensive line there from the lads. So let's hope we can keep that up. And that Naki Williams there, big threat.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They do have threat, don't they? I mean, they're more of a team that has more individual threat, arguably, than a collective one. I mean, this is the thing with England, isn't it? You could argue the change we made tonight, we've got a bit of an abundance of riches, but it's going to be interesting to see how that carries on when you play like the teams like the Croatians, where it's more about your individual quality because you're trying to win individual battles and pace and all the rest of it. As Madueke has gone down and won a free kick, it appears, for England on this far right-hand side. And there's going to be the first opportunity coming up from a set piece. Do you see Declan Rice on this, Reece?
Yeah, I think it's a perfect position for Declan Rice. A good eye pressing there from Reece James on the winger to win the ball back, and Madueke, as he did last game, winning a load of free kicks and being that workhorse nuisance.
Yeah, exactly. Dorsky, hello, mate. How are you? Are you touched the ball yet? I've not even noticed him, mate.
Don't be silly.
I've not even noticed him. He's done a great job of playing Where's Wally this year, hasn't he, for Leicester? And he's carrying it on with Ghana. No wonder their fans are a little bit angry. Here comes Rice with a free kick in now. Going to be headed clear by the first man for Ghana there, which is unfortunate. There's Jordan Ayew, once again trying to close down. He's won the ball now. He hasn't fallen over yet, and he's trying to play a bit of link-up play here, but England are going to kill that opportunity. First one in the book, 6 minutes on the clock, first free kick opportunity. Probably need to turn this up a bit already, Reece, do you reckon?
Yeah, well, Declan Rice has literally just took the free kick on my screen, so I can't really comment on it. But no, I mean, I've just seen the delivery, poor delivery from Rice there. I expect better from him there. But at the end of the day, it's only 5 minutes into the game. Let's not panic just yet. We're just settling into the game, at the end of the day. There's no pressure on us to win, so the pressure's on them to get the win.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, it's one of those things where you kind of think, early stages like this, it's okay, but you've got to turn up the volume at some point because the longer the time ticks on, the more confidence Ghana will have if they're able to defend what is a very good side for us. Just seeing the ball played across midfield again here now, very typical from what you see from the modern English game nowadays, just to hold on to that ball, try and wait for an opportunity to open up. It's going to be that attacking movement, isn't it? And I think so far Madueke's been mostly involved here, once again on that right-hand side over Gordon as Bellingham hits the deck. I'm not sure if you've just seen that, mate, but Bellingham's gone down. Looks like a 50-50, and he's gone in there with a Poku and took a clip on the back of the head from the back heel there. So worrying times to see him down. Hopefully he'll be all right.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I've just seen the foul now. It did look like a 50-50 there. Just going back to Madueke, one thing he has over Saka is that directness going down the wing. He's not afraid to take on his winger, where Saka's a bit more passive. I think Arsenal have coached out his directness a bit, coached it out of him a little bit. Just watching Kane's long ball over to Madueke, we're still continuing in those long balls, which are very good. Which Thomas Tuchel said he really enjoyed, and he enjoyed the pragmaticness of the last game, mixing it up a little bit. But
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, that's it, isn't it? You've got to mix it up. You can't be too much. Here come Garner now saying that it's going to be shielded out here, luckily, for a goal kick. But Garner's showing that little bit of venom that they've probably got and pace in their game there. So something to definitely keep an eye on, isn't it? Prashant, remember when Leicester were linked with Madueke? Sorry, Nate, that is. Sorry, Nate. Yeah, I do. Yeah, we were linked with Dembele as well. He's done a pretty good job for France, hasn't he, in PSG? I mean, shows you, doesn't it? You know, the ideas were there. Unfortunately, the follow through wasn't, which has probably been Leicester's problem. Yeah, the quality we have now is our pants, isn't it? How times have changed. Prashant, fans are happy to with Canada. Yeah, there's a lot of Indian population in Canada. I mean, Canada's very multicultural. You know, I mean, Toronto's a blending pot, isn't it? And apparently Qatar cheated in the qualifying game, pulling the ball off the line. That would have made it a goal kick and kick it into the goal. Very similar to when Ireland and France played, wasn't it? And there was a handball that wasn't given and cost Ireland a chance of going to a World Cup as well, or Euro. So, yeah, it shows you these decisions can be problematic here. But anyway, 9 minutes gone. So far, this is what you've been expecting, really, Reece? England sort of holding on to the ball, but Ghana showing that little bit of counter-attacking element?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, Tom. At the end of the day, the Ghana are not going to outplay England in terms of quality and going toe to toe, because we've got too much quality and we'll rip them to pieces. So they're being pragmatic, they're being patient, and they'll be ready with those pace on the wings. But I don't expect to see England play like this too often during the tournament, because I think if we come up against a bigger team like a Brazil or Argentina, I do expect that game that we played against Croatia, a bit more quicker passing, because England are not known to dominate the big teams really on the ball. They're more for getting the ball forward as quickly as possible. So, but yeah, what I expected so far, Tom.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I think that's part of the reason you wouldn't bring Maguire to this tournament, because I don't think there's going to be many games that we're going to be doing what Ghana are trying to do here, sitting back with a deep block and then looking to break, right? So, yeah, England now coming forward with the ball again, guys, and once again, trying to look for a little run here or there, but Ghana holding a good shape here. They've got five of partly dropping back into centre-back as well. Ayew here is trying to chase down some players as well, so he's dropped back. It's almost like a 5-4-1 at the moment. They set up really with Williams here. Naki Williams is obviously a top talent to really be that counter-attacking press, maybe trying to utilise Semenyo to find that pass. England once again coming down the right side here. Madueke trying to get the ball across now, headed clear again by Ghana. A lot of it's going through Madueke, and briefly when you talked about Reece, Madueke and Saka, I think the difference is Madueke's got a bit more physicality in his game than Saka. Saka's very nimble, very agile, but when it comes to a bit of the rough and tumble, Madueke, to me, has got that little bit extra in his game, perhaps.
Yeah, like I say, he has that directness that Saka doesn't really have anymore. And but I'd say Saka's got a much better end product than Madueke. If Madueke can tidy that part of his game up, he'd be a very, very good English winger. And he probably could challenge Saka even more on this right wing side. But Saka's got the numbers, Saka's got the end product, and that's why he'll always be England's number one right winger, as Jed Spencer's brought the ball to Declan Rice.
Yeah, we're still England here, still trying to press in. There was an opportunity there just beyond that, and it's gone out for another England throwing. Yeah, it's interesting with Saka, isn't it? Because, like I said, I think, you know, he's apparently going to be fit for the next game, from what we believe is the estimated fully fit return. So I can understand why, you know, he's been kept out of these first two games, because it makes no sense to lose that sort of player at that point. There's also an argument for me in a similar way to Marcus Rashford. He's got an ability to be an impact sub as well. I mean, do you view this Reece's Madueke might have a chance to hold down this right-hand side position, and then maybe Saka's going to have to settle for being a right-hand side impact sub, or do you think he'll just switch it when the time's right?
I think Saka's got too much pedigree in big tournaments to be left on the bench, whereas Rashford really hasn't. So I don't. That's why I didn't mind Gordon starting this game again. I don't think enough went through him. I think he was kind of pushed out of the game by Croatia. So hopefully he'll have another opportunity to impress Thomas Tuchel in this game. But no, I think Saka, when he's fully fit, will come back in. And as he's already come out and said that he feels even better than he did when he was at Arsenal. And we've got a free kick now.
Yeah, interesting. Anthony Gordon involved in both the chance before then, where he just couldn't get in front of the man to have an easy 6-yard shot on goal, but also, like you say, just won the free kick there as well. It's interesting to see him come all the way across to the right-hand side for that opportunity inside the 6-yard box. The question mark I had over him in the last game was he didn't seem involved enough, but was a lot of that because they were choosing to go down the right side more with Madueke, over-utilising the left side. But yeah, that's interesting to see how he's managed to come in and obviously get in their bodies. And like you say, we're now going to have a free kick lined up. It's going to be Declan Rice by the looks of it, but I believe also Reece James has stood there. Ghana just organising their war here, guys. It'll be amazing for Declan Rice to go full David Beckham here early, and it's been laid off, and Rice has hit it, and he's just been flicked over the top of the crossbar, I think, by the goalkeeper. If he didn't get a touch to it, it was just rising and going over, but a lot of power in that, Reece.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the free kick to be taken on my screen, but I'll go off what you said there. Yeah, I mean, Declan Rice is always going to be dangerous from this sort of distance here, and obviously Reece James is dangerous as well. Yeah, he has laid it off. Oh, yeah, that was a very, very good effort there. Very different technique to what Ayew usually takes his free kicks there, Declan Rice, as you've seen again the Real Madrid game last season where he curled it into the top corner and the unbelievable technique. He went for a more laces approach there. Good power, just directness was a bit off there, but good effort.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I'll try and speak a little bit longer so I don't leave you in the shit there for 2 seconds.
It's all right, mate.
I don't want to over-talk you. don't want to under-talk, right? As we're just seeing, Harry Kane's gone up for a header there, and unfortunately there's been a collision of heads, and Harry Kane's taken one to the back of the noggin. He looks like he's getting up now, but that's a bit concerning to see as the rain has started to fall in Boston as well. Of course, it's being played tonight actually at Gillette Stadium, which is not in Boston. It's kind of like saying, London Luton. Yeah, you just seen the headbutt.
Yeah, that was a nasty collision there. He's not done it deliberately. I thought Rice had Prashan's there, mate. I thought hamstring injury. No, it's a back injury that Rice has been nursing, Prashan. But no, that looked like a nasty back on the head there for Harry Kane. He's up on his feet though, which is good to see.
Yeah, made of strong stuff, isn't he? So it's going to be another free kick for England. This one's slightly further out. It's only slightly past the centre circle, so it's not going to go in long. It's going to be laid off here to Spence. He's going to go up his far-hand side. Rice has now stepped up here onto that wing position. He's turned his man here, done a pretty good job. Went to the penalty area, laid off. Going to be an opportunity. The striker's got away, but there's no power beyond it. And it's been cleared by Ghana here across to the far side. And there we go. But that's a bit more lively for me. England, 15 minutes on the clock. And you've got to say, we need to probably turn the volume up a little bit here. Just saying about Boston, yeah, this is a technically, saying Luton is in London because we're actually playing at the New England Patriots Stadium, which is in Foxborough, I believe, which is a bit outside of Boston. So interesting how they call it that, isn't it? Possession stats, 85%, Ghana 14%. Foxborough, yeah, thank you very much, Nate. You got it there. So, and David Beckham as well is watching the game as England continue pushing on here. So, what's your first thoughts on 15 minutes gone, mate? What would you want to see more of and what have you liked so far?
Well, I've just seen the chance there from England there. Probably too many touches there. Needed to take that shot a lot more quicker. I think Anderson could have had the shot there a lot quicker, or even Anthony Gordon could have had a shot there curled into the as we got into the box. Declan Rice doing brilliant there to win it back there. But in the opening 15 minutes, it's more. I'm happy seeing what I'm seeing. The passing triangles are still there. The quickness of it, and I believe we have just won a corner. So, but yeah, I'm happy with what I'm seeing so far. I'm not too concerned just yet. There's no slow build up. There's still no slow Russell Martin build-up, let's say. So, yeah, I'm happy with the passing and the triangles and the intricate passing. So let's just keep doing what we're doing. Our chance will come.
Yeah, here comes a corner from Declan Rice. It's going to be an in-swinger, guys, from the far-hand side of the picture. It's taken now going in towards the back of the 6-yard box. Gordon was waiting in the middle there. Ghana are faffing around, but they've got it clear, and they've kicked it down towards this near touch line for an England throw, which Reece James looks like he might quickly take, and he throws it back into play. England obviously have still got all the players up from the corner here. Spence is the last man back for them, who it's gone back to in the halfway line. And once again, Ghana holding firm, though, although England looking like they might be causing a bit of panic. Reece James now causing a bit of width here on the right-hand side with everyone else inside the box. Crossed across, headed clear there once again from Ghana. I believe it was Mensah, the left back who was in there, got it clear. And there's been a bit of holding going on there, and it's going to be a free kick. And would you believe it? Jordan Ayew has won the free kick, being pulled by Konza. The sort of thing in the Championship we would have literally died for last season when he was falling over, Reece.
Yeah, I've just seen that cross come into the box now. Yeah, it was a good defense. They've got very strong, tall centre halves there, and obviously Jordan Ayew's just won the free kick there, doing what he normally does. As much as I hate to say it, it's one of his best attributes, winning free kicks and slowing the game down, and that's what Ghana will want to do. They want to knock England off their stride, and he's having a moan at Konza there. Shut up, are you? Shut up. I'm getting a bit of emotional Leicester coming out of me because I absolutely can't stand Jordan Ayew at the minute, but I'm trying to be as neutral as I can. But no, he done what he needed to do there, slow the game down and break England's stride as Ghana held the ball now at the back.
Yeah, exactly. England are going to start from the back now again here. Nate, none of our stadiums are where they say they are. Dallas is in Arlington, San Francisco's in Santa Clara, and New York's in New Jersey. Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it, mate? I mean, I think the only one actually downtown is probably actually in Toronto, because obviously I know Toronto. I know it's pretty much on the edge of downtown, ironically. And of course, yeah, I always find it funny how they give New York the credit for MetLife when it is in New Jersey, isn't it? Unbelievable. What is John Terry doing here? Well said, Dorco. Reece and Ayew sitting in the tree.
Reece and Ayew sitting in tree. Whack! Whack!
We wait till Russell Martin offers him a deal for next season out of nowhere. We're thinking, what is going on with our lives? Anyway, here come England again now. Out of play for a. No, it's fine, mate. No, I was just let you speak there because the ball's gone out of play on this far hand side for an England throw.
Okay.
So.
I think as much as Russell Martin, as I'm not the biggest fan of Russell Martin, I don't think he would sign rubbish Jordan Ayew. Well, number one, too many wages, and two, he will not fit the way he wants to play football at all.
No, let's hope you're right, mate. Although Leicester have got this bad habit in the last 2 years of seeming to do things that the fans aren't going to get on board with. So nothing's off the cards for me, guys. And Chris has said that England are just starting to get a bit of joy down the flanks. Yeah, I'd agree with that, definitely. I think now we're seeing a little bit more in that. I mean, I think part of the worry is as Jordan Ayew once again goes in there with Mark Gahey trying to win a free kick and falls on his arse again. I mean, it's amazing how the season has carried over. Yeah, I think that's the interesting thing about this, isn't it? Reece, is about trying to make sure we create that goal scoring opportunity without obviously giving Ghana an easy route to goal, right?
Yeah, I think they're playing. They're very central in their mid to low block. They're trying to stop Harry Kane from being an influence in the game, and that is leaving space out wide for the two wingers to get involved in. And obviously, that's where Madueke and Gordon have got their bit of joy. And we've had a few opportunities down this, so we might have to try and exploit that as much as we can.
Yeah, definitely. There's been another break in play here, so we're probably getting towards the hydration break, which is hilarious today because obviously the hydration is coming from the sky, and it's been Jordan Ayew again involved in this. Him and Reece James going up and a clash of heads again. The reverse of the Harry Kane situation, except the number 9 for Ghana this time is on the ground. And we're just seeing Thomas Tuchel having a word with Bellingham here, and I think that's quite wise here, sort of getting into him a bit, just sort of saying, we need a little bit more from you here. And I think that's right, because would you say so far Reece Bellingham... Reece Bellingham. Your name's Reece Bellingham now, mate.
I wish, mate. I'll tell you what, I wish I had his footballing ability. I'd be a multi-millionaire.
Well, tell me about it, mate. You could take me out for a few beers then, couldn't you? I mean, yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I've been sat in the sun too much today. I've obviously cooked myself. But yeah, no, I think Bellingham so far has been a little bit invisible, hasn't he? And when you're playing a formation of this style, your 10's got to be one of the highest profile seen players, right?
I think, yeah, since Thomas Tuchel has come into the England job, he has targeted Bellingham a lot, but I think it's because he knows how important and how he is the main man of the team. We know Harry Kane's Harry Kane, but Bellingham is the man that makes it all tick, makes everything flow incredibly fluent. And I think Thomas Tuchel just expects that little bit more from him, that like kind of Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo. I expect you to do this because you are the man here sort of thing. So, but it's good man management and it's worked in Bellingham's favour.
Definitely. Hydration break is currently underway, guys. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and all the rest of it. Thank you all very much for joining us and having us on.
Do you want to try and shorten the duration of the thing, Tom? Because I think you're about about 30 seconds in front of me, mate.
I could pause it for a quick second, couldn't I? That's not a bad shout, mate. Hang on. Yes, if I do that for 10 seconds, mate, I should actually then be in line with you. That is smart thinking, Batman. See, remote's at hand here, so we're ready to go.
I just don't want to comment on stuff that I've not seen yet. So, like, you know, and obviously I need to try and hold in my reactions if I'm ever ahead of you. So, yeah.
Right, I'm playing it now, man. I've got Reece James getting his head felt, and I'm seeing Carlos Queiroz. How's that for you?
Reece James is getting his head felt. Now I'm seeing the manager. Perfect.
Okay, so that'll work fine, mate. There we go, guys. You'll be ahead of us now, guys. So don't forget, no spoilers, definitely. It won't mess up the clock, Chris. The clock's messed up anyway because they've got a hydration break currently going on. And Jordan Ayew is currently getting some bandage around his head to try and keep his brain inside his skull. I would question if he's got one, but let's not get too personal. You see on screen there, guys, the match momentum, as you can see, so far, all England, 22 minutes gone here, hydration break underway. Reece James looks all right. He's just rubbing the front of his face right now, obviously after taking one to the back of Ayew's head. But so far, you would say England off to a pretty good start. But I get a bit of nerves, mate, the longer this goes on, because you kind of think, right, you want that goal to go in, don't you? So then puts more pressure on Ghana to open up their game as well, right?
Yeah, I think that's the plan from England. At the end of the day, we just got to be patient and wait for our time. I trust the defence enough to cope with their threats on the wings. Although Semenyo is the main man of this team, he's an absolute machine. So yeah, I mean they're going to throw the ball down now, and we're going to get carrying on again. But no, like I say, I'm still happy with what I'm seeing, and hopefully we can continue just up that gear just a little bit. Go to third gear a little bit. We're still in second at the minute for me.
Yeah, your clock is bang on, Chris. Semenyo looks to be matching up with Konza, ironically. And obviously it'll be Reece James, won't it, as well? But with the way we play our football, Reece James will probably cut inside. So it's interesting Konza keeping an eye on him here. Ghana trying to play themselves in on that far left-hand side with Mensah overlapping the left back. And there's been an offside flag raised. So lucky for England, it's a let-off. First time we've probably seen Ghana venturing into our half with a bit of possession there as well so far. But obviously the longer this goes on, the more happy they'll be. Jordan Ayew's got a right bandage on his head now. Oh my word, mate.
He has indeed. Yeah, I've just I mean, about the most action he's had all season because he's done nothing all season. So it's nice to see him going through the trenches for his country, but not his football club, eh? But Cons are bringing the ball forward now.
Yeah, we're going to see England come over the halfway line here, guys. Once again, Ghana have got back here with their line of 5 at the back, pretty much. Long ball over here, trying to find Madueke inside the penalty area. He's come inside. The header's been won. Here's Jordan Ayew again, now getting involved. And he's lost the ball, surprisingly. And it come out to Elliot Anderson, who's going to lay it off back now to the centre-back, who's come over halfway here. The high press for England is placing all our centre-backs into their half now. There's part of the gamble you've got to take this, Reece, isn't it, to try and break them down?
Yeah, it's what Thomas Tuchel wants. He wants us to lose. If we're going to lose our way, and not break from that identity and be proud that even though we tried to play the way we want to play, but still lose. And yeah, I love that attitude and that mentality. It's a winning mentality. Yeah,
and as we see now, Bellingham's on the ball here. Looks like he's trying to use his manoeuvrability side to try and create something. He's doubled back on himself to Reece James here. Madueke with a lot of space here, perhaps. No, it's been closed down. Ball back in towards the 6-yard box. Once again, no England player getting there first. Ghana will clear it. England win the second ball with Anderson, who's sat back there with Konsa at the moment. And the referee has given a free kick there. And it looks like a free kick to England as well, which will probably be taken quite quickly here. We're not going to line this one up. It is just inside their half. We're running with the ball now. Rice is going to play it to Gordon. 1-2 with Kane. Unfortunately, Kane's pass was a little bit heavy there, and it's going to stop and it'll be kicked out of play there by Ghana's Mensah, and it's going to be another throw for England. But once again, it's the game I kind of expected, right, Reece? It's very much England have got Ghana penned in. A little bit cautious about the counter-attacking capability Ghana possess. But we are struggling to break them down a bit. I mean, now is the hydration break. We got 2 hydration breaks. The first hydration break was what we should call a bandage break for what happened to Jordan Ayew. My God.
That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. And I think... I mean, I hope they don't bring this into the English leagues next season because it's just going to pee off a lot of fans. And to be honest with you, it's peeing me off, this is, because it's just, to be fair though, with the way this game's going, I don't mind a hydration break. But if we're on top, like against Brazil and it's 0-0 and it breaks our stride sort of thing, that's when I'm going to get peed off about it. But and Kylian Mbappe come out and said, there's no point asking me because if we're on top and we're pressing them, and we're doing all that and then we get a hydration, we're going to be annoyed. But if we're getting pinned back, then we'll enjoy the hydration break. So, obviously these players are just, it's ridiculous. The world's gone mad.
It kind of makes you think if this is the way you want to do it, why not make the game 4 quarters rather than 2 halves, right? You know, because that's kind of like the way it is. I mean, a lot of this is probably, you know, for the advertising breaks around the world as well. So, you know, Band-Aid break. Yeah, Prashan, that's what it was, wasn't it? You know, and that's the funny thing. Surely the referee, Reece, bear in mind it was 20 minutes on the clock there where Jordan Ayew was getting bandaged up. Surely he could have called a hydration break earlier rather than going for 5 more minutes and breaking the game up again.
Yeah,
Just to come in, I don't know if you can hear me, guys.
Yeah.
Just come in, Reece. Do you not think, though, that's just all the players have been doing all along? Goalkeepers going down with 5 minutes to go because they're under pressure, getting people to come on. You can't moan at it when players have been doing it for the last however many years.
Well, I think it's a bit of a different scenario, really, Chris. To be fair, because you know the goalie.
No, it's not. If you're arguing that it's breaking up the play, what does Jordan Ayew base his career on? Players have been doing it for ages. You know, you can't suddenly say. And the problem then is, you probably don't need hydration breaks here. I would accept that. But how do you?
Oh, I
have
do.
one,
I'd be
not
here.
have one here, and then maybe wherever Panama are playing, they get one. It's got to be the same for all the matches.
Well, yeah, I agree. I just don't think hydration breaks should be in it full stop. I think, you know, at the end, I think I'm just going to say it. I think it's woke. I think it's absolute woke nonsense. You know, at the end of the day, it's disrupting people watching the game, and people have paid good money to go and watch the game. I mean, they may get the full 45 minutes full stop, but it's not the point. You know, you don't want to be sitting there watching them have a drink when.
But if you're a player that's on there, as Jack Charlton said last time it was in America in 1994, and they didn't have hydration breaks, and he took his players off to have one, and FIFA went mad. He said somebody's going to die at this rate.
Well, yeah, but the problem is back in 1994, I mean, and we're in 2026 now. A lot of things have changed then, Chris. But I'm with you. I'm with you. But unfortunately, that's the way football's gone. Unfortunately.
Interesting. Thanks for the voice of God there, Chris. I almost crapped my pants. Like, where's that come from? Oh my God!
It's the most sense he spoke all season.
You've been with this channel a long time now, mate. You know.
Oh, yeah.
I can still kick you out, even though I'm in the back. Just remember that.
Yeah.
You know I love you, Chris. You know I love you.
I'm on the laptop. I've got no admin rights on this, so I'll have to go get on the computer. But the game's back underway now, guys, anyway, after the hydration break. And once again, England here passing it between Konsa and Gahey here. We're seeing a little run being made by Reece James, trying to create some width on the right-hand side, because Ghana narrow up and try and fill up the centre of the pitch with bodies. Jordan Ayew is pushing quite up high here. We've got Pickford outside the penalty area, just trying to make a decision. He left that a bit late. Jordan Ayew there was like a dinosaur rotting towards him, but luckily Pickford wasn't scared like Dr. Malcolm in Jurassic Park, because otherwise you might have given the ball up. Pickford again now is going to go long. He's going to go onto the left-hand side of the pitch and try and find Spencer. He's got one of those what they call them, those chin straps on. I didn't know Spence had a chin problem, mate. Did you?
No, I didn't. I think he was wearing one for Spurs last season. I'm not quite sure. But no, I mean, if it doesn't loud cheers for the hydration break, we had. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about, Chris. You know, yeah. me and Tom said the same thing. Like, why not have it then? So yeah, I completely agree with you, mate.
Let me be cynical. I'm guessing they hadn't got the adverts ready to play by that point.
Yeah, I think so, mate. Just quickly, I think we might be better. Speaking of Jed Spence, I think we might be better in this game with a Nico O'Reilly, who can play that killer pass maybe, because he's a bit better on the ball than Jed Spence. But I understand Thomas Tuchel's thinking of playing him when you've got pacey winger. And Nico O'Reilly didn't have his greatest game against Croatia, so maybe we'll see a change in that half time, maybe, or maybe a bit later in the game.
I think you raise a good point here, as we're seeing Ghana trying to launch something, and Jordan Ayew once again has gone down. That's the 4th time in this half that Jordan Ayew has gone down, and he's given the free kick, the referee will buy half of them. But I think it's interesting, because I think the left-back position is the most fascinating one for the England team, because I think Nico O'Reilly's had a very good season, but he is more of a utility player. While he's slotted into left-back really well at Man City, he's also really a 10. He can also maybe play centre-mid. He's got a lot he can do. When you look beyond O'Reilly and you go, Spence isn't probably the profile of player that's going to cut inside. He's a player that's going to use pace and overlap. So I'm not sure how that fits in with Tuchel and his philosophy. I mean, we talked about this with Russell Martin, haven't we? Having 2 inverted wing backs coming into the centre of the pitch. I prefer the Enzo way. You have one do it and one doesn't do it. The other one is wide and has width, right? So I do find it interesting. It's almost like tonight is a bit of a playground to see how Spence will get on with this. And so far, I'd like to see a little bit more of him driving and using that raw pace of his, because that is his biggest asset, isn't it, Reece?
Yeah, I think if we come up against, like, say, Brazil or Spain, I think Jed Spence will be more key than Nico O'Reilly, because we're not going to have a lot of the ball, and they're going to have fast, tricky wingers. And and Jed Spence will be very, very good for that. As Thomas Tuchel has come out and said before, he loves defend. He loves to defend, and Thomas Tuchel loves those sort of those fullbacks. But yeah, Nico O'Reilly against these low blocks, as he has proven for Man City, is good at playing those killer passes and getting those goals in as well from left back. So yeah, I like how Thomas Tuchel's gone with his thinking there. Go for one more technical fullback with the likes of Reece James and Nico O'Reilly, but then you have a good backup with the likes of Kwanzaa and Jed Spence, who are just pure defenders. So yeah, got a lot of utility and different style defenders going.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big part of it. It's like you say, the opposition is going to change no matter how long you go into this tournament. Right, once again, guys, they're going to just playing the ball amongst the back of them. And now we're going to get Madueke down this right-hand side. He's going to try and take his man on, but there's 3 Ghana players there. And it's come to Bellingham, who's trying to get a strike on it from outside the area. It's been blocked, though, and unfortunately, there wasn't much conviction in that strike to get it past the Ghanaian centre-backs. Comes back down to Madueke. England trying to ramp the pressure up. And it's been crossed in towards the back post, and Harry Kane was free there, but once again, doesn't beat the Ghanaian defence, who've done a very good job of headering that clear. Do you think, sense, Reece, once again, in this hydration break, Thomas Tuchel has done a bit what he did at half-time in the last game? We give him a little bit of a rocket here to try and increase energy.
I think so, yeah. You've seen 3 players there, Madueke, Anderson and Bellingham, all surrounding the same player, desperately trying to play that high press and win the ball back. It was a foul there from Anderson. I would like to see us change it up, though, in terms of the crossing. It's getting a bit repetitive, and as we've seen before, and as we've seen during the game, Ghana centre-backs are very tall and agile, so we might need to change that up a bit.
Yeah, Ghana about to take a free kick outside their own penalty area, and it's from their goalkeeper here. Just say hello to the chat here. Dorco, imagine if Ayew and Fatawu score and beat us 2-0. Yeah, you give me crap flat, mate. I'm wearing a Leicester shirt tonight, aren't I? And we've got Prashant. That's what Ayew does best. Goes down and takes his teams down with him. Well said, mate. Well said. Natasha, hi, I support a team that's in Leicester's rivals, but come on, England. You're more than welcome. Obviously, the more the merrier. Welcome to the channel. We're a friendly bunch on this, Any fans are welcome, and welcome along to Leicester till I die, as Chris has just said there below. England once again trying to launch a quick counter-attack there on the far left-hand side. Once again came to nothing as Ghana can get it away. But England once again now with 10 minutes to go to half-time, looking to maybe slip in and play some players through here. Doesn't look like we've got the beating of Ghana at the moment, who are showing that resilience. And when you've got Panama coming up next as well, Reece, it does make you wonder, is this going to be the Achilles heel that this team might face, is breaking down teams that are going to defend deep here?
Yeah, it's a bit of a banana skin. This game's turned into a bit of a banana skin as Ghana have just played the ball out. I mean, they're not a good team, Ghana, but they are very resilient. They are very strong and robust in their defensive approach. Like I said, at half-time, I would like to see a few more technical players come on and really do some line breaking passes through the gaps there, like a Nico O'Reilly would, or even somebody else coming off. Somebody like Eze maybe coming off on the left-hand side, or Morgan Rogers. So, yeah, might have to change this up a little bit here because it's getting a bit too repetitive for me. We need to change it up.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Eze or Rashford second half. I just think from what they can bring in their different style for that profile. I mean, Eze actually might not be a bad 10, but I still would like to lean with Bellingham here because I think he's got that ability from nowhere to do something world-class, even if he's having a quiet game. So interesting. Gay nearly gets in trouble there, guys, trying to play a ball out there to Spence. There was 2 Ghanaian players there trying to close it down, but it will go out and play for an England throwing here halfway inside the Ghana half on the left-hand side. Thrown backwards. Interesting how we always throw the ball backwards, Reece, to hold on to possession here, isn't it? Is this just Tuchel ball, or do you think it shows a lack of bravery, perhaps?
I don't think it's either, to be fair, mate. I don't think it's Tuchel ball. I don't think it's a lack of bravery. I think it's more patient build-up, to be fair, mate, because we know we've got the beater in terms of quality, but we just have to really, really show our resilience. Madueke now.
Yeah, Madueke just crossed one in there, guys. Declan Rice was unmarked just outside the 6-yard box. So unfortunately, he got underneath it. Yeah, better, like you say. Got underneath the ball there, heads it over the crossbar, goes looping up to the centre of the crossbar. But yeah, unfortunately. Prashant said that I think Gordon's growing into this game. I think that's a fair point. What's interesting is that's 2 games in a row you could argue that Tuchel's had a word with them to try and make them grow into things a little bit here. As we see Ghana trying to play a nice long ball there along the ground. But luckily for us, Spence intercepted it pretty well here. The weather shouldn't really be leading to too much of a lethargic performance here, but I do wonder, Reece, it was about turning the volume up in the final third in particular, and maybe gambling on a few more 50-50 balls into the box. What do you think?
Yeah, just going back to that Madueke cross, changing it up a bit. Instead of cutting inside, go on your weaker right foot. You know, you've got 2 feet for a reason, and he put in a lovely ball in there to Rice, and he just managed to just, tip it over the bar. But at the end of the day, it's different. You know, change it up a little bit. But yeah, I think the volume and, our forward thinking, we're being a little bit cautious at the minute. So, but yeah, I would like to see us just gamble a little bit, because Ghana, yes, they've got threats, but they're not going to cause us too many problems during the game. We have to still be cautious there. It's going to get a free kick there, but no, let's just turn it up a little bit. Let's just show how good we can be.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, mate. Definitely. I mean, the interesting thing is, this is not too dissimilar from the Croatia game. You'd argue the first half of the Croatia game, there was opportunities that had probably turned it up before, and it didn't happen. So it'd be interesting to see what happens second half. And like you say, we talked about, maybe there might be a change or two that could be made in there. Ghana taking the free kick all the way up to Senya on that far left-hand side of the pitch there. And unfortunately for him, he's touched it on the line and put it straight out of play. A poor first touch there from him, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was a great ball out to him. It was pinpoint on his foot there. He just miscontrolled it there, the Ghanaian player, Senenyo, whatever his name is. But
makes you wonder if Fatawu should be there, because everything we say about Fatawu, I think he might have kept that in play and got it a bit under control a bit easier, right?
Yeah, he might have done, yeah. But I don't think we're going to be too worried about Fatawu at the minute. I mean, unless he turns into prime Maradona and has a game of his life against us. But going off his previous season with us, he's not been too great. So, but hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Let's hope he doesn't hit one from the halfway line when England have got everyone up. Puts one in the back of the net. Would you imagine? I mean, like, we've been all over social media when that happens. Remind me at halftime, I've got to put the light on in here because I can't. We're getting a bit dark for the webcam. But, hey, look, let me just repeat this. This is also in podcast form as well, guys, which is probably a better format for some members on the channel here who especially gone out in the sun for the first time today as fairer skin, trying to grow up a little bit of a tan here. I look like I've been sat and been tomatoed, really, or tangoed back in the 90s, wasn't it? England now coming out with the ball here. Rice in the 50-50 there with the Ghanaian player. He's going to win it, though, and carry the ball over the halfway line here up towards the left-hand side. Good stuff there. You have to be committed in that, didn't he, Reece?
He did, yeah. His all-round game is it's close to pitch perfect. I don't believe there's a pitch perfect player apart from Lionel Messi, of course. But no, his all-round game is just phenomenal. He's aggressive in his tackling, his passing. He's got a great end product, and he's one of the best midfielders in the world. I have no qualms in saying that. No,
that's great. England there were just trying to play a 1-2 there, trying to get someone in the penalty area. And unfortunately, there was a little bit of a collision off the ball. The referee and his linesman have given offside, actually, because I believe Bellingham was actually stood behind the last defender when the ball was played, and it was offside, to be fair. That's fair enough, because he then came back onside, didn't he? So, but interesting. That's the first time I've probably seen a 50-50 ball chucked in there for a header opportunity, and then someone trying to win the rebound. And there was 3 or 4 England players there ready to swarm on it. We saw France do a lot of this last night, well, when the game was actually on because of the breaks they had, mate. But, do you think that's going to be the key to maybe breaking Ghana down second half? It's not a case of, waiting for opportunities to open up, because in the first 40 minutes, we've seen Ghana aren't going to give that opportunity. It's going to be maybe chucking those balls in and trying to win a second ball with 3 or 4 England players committing forward, maybe, right?
Yeah, potentially, Tom. Like I say, I think we need a few more technical players on the pitch. I think there's not a lot of technical players. I mean, we need to make some of this possession as well. 84.2 there from England. So, Declan Rice nearly won a ball there. He's going to give away a foul there.
Yellow card for Declan Rice, well said. Yeah, it was a 50-50 ball, and Declan Rice was carrying a lot of pace like he was in the last bit of movement from him, showing his energy he's trying to bring to the central midfield, and unfortunately he's clipped the player and gone in the book. I think the yellow card was pretty harsh there. What do you think, mate? 50-50?
Well, he's not. He's got a bit of a grin on his face, so he probably knows deep down, yeah, it probably is a yellow card, But no, he was very aggressive there. Probably got ahead of himself there. Thought he was going to win. Yeah, it's a bad foul. That is a yellow card. You can't stamp on his foot like that, really. He's probably lucky that won't go to VAR, because I've seen them give him as a red card. But, I like the attitude of him. He's trying to win the ball back for his team, and, we reset and go again.
Yeah, exactly here. Yeah, Dorco, we've gone back to the fearful play. What happened to the fearless play on the last game? Yeah, I'd agree with that, mate. Ghana have kind of set up and said, this is how we're going to do things. What are you going to do to counteract it, right? And we've kind of not seen enough here as Ghana now have an opportunity. And there's Jordan Ayew getting in the mix as well. Pickford comes out to try and get the ball. It's shielded out by Anderson instead, and Jordan Ayew is still holding possession here, down on this near left-hand side for Ghana. Back comes Madueke to try and tag up against him here, and the ball goes out of play, and I believe that'll be a throw to Ghana now, right by the corner flag. And all of a sudden, the game plan for Ghana, Reece, is looking a little bit like it might work here. 42 minutes on the clock, still 0-0, but Semenyo's coming across it, and they might be able to get a long throw into the England box.
Yeah, Jordan Ayew did really well there. Held off 3 England players, used his strength. Well, I mean, what strength he has shown, this season. But we'll move on from that. But no, he done well there for his team. He did what he needed to do. Hold the play up there and get Ghana up in the final third of the pitch as Semenyo delivers in a throw.
Yeah, now Semenyo's got the ball just inside the penalty area. 3 England players around him here. He's trying to dance and create some space, and he hits it off the legs of Reece James. And it's going to be a corner to Ghana. A spanner in the works, guys, could be coming here just before the break. Just like the stats say there from Chris. Thank you. England 5, Ghana 0 when it comes to shots. None on target for either team so far. You get the impression the way this game is going, the first shot on target might find the back of the net just from how it is panning out. And like Dorco said, we are so timid. I think that's a lot of it. There seems to be a lack of energy in particular, and we'll get to that in a second, Reece, what changes you might make for half-time. We're just going to go through this chance here now, guys. There's 3 Ghana players, including the Poku, the centre-back, ready to try and get on the end of it. So here comes the corner now. It's going to be headed clear, luckily, there by England and Gahey. And now it comes back out. Semenyo is going to pop it back in there, but it's not going to find its way through. Now, England, there was a counter-attack for them. No, Ghana are getting to that second ball first now. It's almost like with 5 minutes to go, Reece, Ghana have gone, well, now we're going to turn our energy up because we've been sat here conserving for 40 minutes, right?
I don't think Thomas Tuchel will be happy with what he's seen in these last 5 minutes from his England team there. Ghana are just dominating the ball, and they've played a long ball over to Ayew there. Is he going to keep it in? Yes, he is, actually. But no, I think Thomas Tuchel will have his words at half-time, and is the ball on the line there still? Oh, no, he's kept it in.
Yeah, it was just outside the line, but it was still touching it, so it was still technically in play. And like Chris said, they've garnered momentum in the last 5 minutes. I mean, the thing is, though, a draw, ironically, would suit both teams because it does pretty much mean we're both through, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, but I would ideally like to get that win and fully confirm that we're going to go into in the round of 32, and then we can, change the team up a bit, give Kane a rest, give Bellingham a rest, give Anderson a rest, Rice a rest, and get players like Saka, who haven't really got 90 minutes in their legs yet, and Rashford and players like that. But no, I think Thomas Tuchel will have some words to say at half-time. I think what's disappointing for me is we've not built on how we finished on that second half against Croatia. I think that's what's really disappointing for me.
No, nice long ball there from the centre-back position, all the way through to Bellingham was making a run. It went all the way to the byline, and England have won a corner here as we tick up towards 45 minutes. It will be Declan Rice to come over and take this, and it will no doubt be an outswinger this time versus in-swinger from the other side. There is a short option going over as well. I believe that might be Elliot Anderson. So England now with 45 minutes ticking on the clock here. Sorry, it's Madueke who's going to be the short option. 6 minutes of added time. When you take in the 2 hydration breaks, 1 hydration break and 1 bandage up break for Jordan Ayew, I think that kind of makes sense. We're just going to get ready to take this now, guys. Here comes Jordan Rice. He's going to kick it into the edge of the 6-yard box. Oh, it just goes to Ghana players. And there was no England players there competing with that, Reece, was there? Frustrating one.
Yeah, it was a good crossing from Rice. It wasn't a bad ball at all. It was right on the penalty spot, ideal for centre-halves and strikers to attack, like we've seen with Harry Kane in the last game. So, it's gone a bit flat, England have at the minute. I think half-time's coming at the right time for us as Pickford plays it long.
It's interesting, though, because they'd expect that's where the ball's going to go. It's almost like the centre-backs were overcommitted and ahead of the ball there as it came in, which allowed Ghana just to have an easy hold their line. And get rid of the ball. But here come England still. We still got 5 minutes of this until it's going to be half-time. It's going to go to 51 minutes. Trying to play some nice one-touch here. If now's the time to turn up the intensity and try and get yourselves off the hook here it is. It's going to be Konsa now. He's pushed up halfway inside their half, playing it down to Madueke. Madueke trying to take on his man. Once again, he's been doubled up on here. Finds Reece James, who was stood back just behind the 10 position, up to Konsa as well. England just trying to see if they can probe a gap here, trying to drag Ghana out. Jordan Ayew, ironically, seems to be marshalling people into a back 5 and then into like a 1 and then a 4. So we got 3 blocks or 2 blocks with one guy stood out. Madueke again's got some space on this right side, trying to flick it through. He does find Bellingham here. Bellingham takes a couple of touches. It's going to go out of play, and unfortunately, it will be a goal kick. Frustrating.
Yeah, very frustrating there. Good bit of better build-up play there. A bit more intricate, a bit more fluid. But again, just lacking that bit of quality in the final third.
Yeah, exactly. Here, there we go. Prashant. First time I've seen Ayew stand his ground in 2026. Prashant, you're on it today, mate. I'm looking forward to your stand-up DVD, bud. Dorco, we shouldn't have to wait till half-time to take it seriously. Well said, mate. And like Chris has put there, been a frustrating half for England. There hasn't been enough runners past Kane. There's not been enough balls through. Like everything has been too safe. And would you say that's it, really, Reece?
I think that's a bit harsh because I don't think we're giving Ghana enough credit for the way they're executing their game plan. I mean, of course, they're not going to leave runners in behind because they're playing a deep line block, and if they run through, they're going to be offside. So I think these pundits need to remember that we can't have it always. We've got to we can't just have enough runners going past. We've got to think of a different way to score goals because you ain't going to get runners in behind in a low block. So it's not how it works. You can't just flick your fingers and it happens.
As we say that, Harry Kane just got played into the penalty area, guys, and he took the strike on, but it was a good bit of last-ditch defending. Yeah, good touch there from Kane. Good touch there from Kane. He had 3 players around him, guys. He touched it with his right, drew it onto his left, got the strike away, and 2 Ghana players there were just stretching to try and block the strike, and it's gone behind now for another England corner. I think, that we're going to see signs of this now. Here comes Declan Rice to take this one. Ghana perhaps on their heels a bit more than they have been so far in this. It's frustrating it's probably taken this long. We're waiting for this to be taken. There is a short option again, but it doesn't look like it's going to be taken. We can see Kane in there. There's Reece James right up there as well. Konsa's right there, right into the middle, headed away at the near post, unfortunately, by the first Ghanaian head that could get on it. Can't beat the first man there. Do you think it is right to have Declan Rice taking all our corners here, or would you like to mix it up, perhaps, Reece?
I would like to see some swingers off the right side from a left-footed player like a Madueke or somebody of that, because we've only got one left-footed player off the pitch because Jed Spence is right-footed playing left-back. So I might want to switch that up and maybe get a couple of left-footed players on the pitch, maybe a Nico O'Reilly or somebody of that ilk. I do think Thomas Tuchel will make a change. That's a great pass, though.
Great pass and a great run for Madueke. Unfortunately, 3 Ghana players only can't get the strike away. The ball gets caught up under his feet and they manage to get it away again. And once again, they're trying to break now. Good stuff from Spencer to come across on the halfway line and stopping Inaki Williams trying to feed a through ball there. But this is the thing, isn't it? Once the game starts to stretch like there's opportunities open up. We've probably got about a minute of half-time when, of course, Wayne and Chris will take over the half-time show. I'll go fix my lighting and try and make myself look like I'm not sitting in perpetual darkness here, guys. But once again, thank you.
Tom.
Oh, mate, no, horrible, mate. No. I mean, the problem is you can't have it all in life, right? You can't have the big manhood and like the good voice, and you lose the looks. You lose the looks, mate. Yeah, you can't have it all. But anyway, right now this England team can't have it all because it can't seem to pass through this Ghana team. And like it's been well said by people in the chat, and like Prashant has just said here, they're letting Ghana get to their shape. And Dorco, we're not going to win the World Cup playing like this. Yeah, it is concerning a little bit, isn't it? Because you want to just see, like, if this is going to be the style we're executing, you want to see a bit more commitment to it. And I think in the final third, you could question commitment perhaps here, Reece, as we're getting towards half-time now.
Yeah, I think Thomas Partey is doing a really good job in that midfield, blocking out the England break there. That's what it's one of his better jobs as a holding midfielder. He's big, robust in that middle. The wingers are starting to get in the game a bit more on the Ghanaian side. Semenyo and Inaki Williams, causing our fullbacks a few problems. But I have to say, their 2 centre-halves have been absolutely fantastic in dealing with our crosses. And, like I said, we need to get some technical players on the pitch and try and break through that, play some just little dink through balls into Kane to run in. Yeah,
seeing some frustration from Jude Bellingham here, guys. He's not gone in the book yet, but the referee's pulled him up for a foul again here. It's going to be a free kick to Ghana, which the goalkeeper's going to take. That should be the last action of the half here, and it is as the referee blows. So it'll probably bring Chris in now. Thanks for that comment, Nate. Yeah, I'd make a good Batman, I would, mate, hanging out in dark corners where there's...
There we go. What happened there? I don't know where Wayne is. Where are you, Wayne? All by myself. And he did. One thing I've discovered with Wayne, he's either late or he's very, very early. He's never on time. Hello, Wayne.
Sorry, mate. I just noticed my fan on the laptop was making it was putting in some effort, so I just switched it off for a little bit, and I forgot I'd switched it off, so I had to reboot it. Yeah.
Thoughts on that half?
Well, I think it needs a reboot.
Indeed, Reese. Indeed, I am. Disappointing. I mean, there's a phrase that I remember that my dad used to use a lot. After the Lord Mayor show, have you heard of that
Yeah.
phrase? Yeah. You have a great performance like that, but then you get. Is it a poor performance, or am I being unfair here?
Look, they're just showing the graphic. They're playing 4-5-1 Ghana, so they're just and they're playing 4-5-1 narrow, so they're giving the wingers space to run down the sides, but then they're sprinting out to attack them if they do, and they're playing for two very tight lines, and we just can't play through them, Chris. Yeah, we can't play through them. We're struggling, and with a team like this, I do think it will be quite difficult. Like Bellingham's looking really frustrated, isn't he? You see, when we had the injury, Bellingham was Tuchel was talking to Bellingham, trying to get him to not lose his head.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there seemed to be a bit of trouble at the end as well.
Was there? I missed that, Chris.
Yeah, there seemed to be a little bit of trouble, but all the players were taken off. I mean, here we go. Yeah, frustration spilling over at half time. There, as Jude Bellingham is held back by his teammate. The midfielders appeared particularly frustrated with that half. To me, I was like watching Leicester.
Yeah, we're quite toothless, Chris. They are playing. So this is the same tactic that Championship played against Enzo as the season went on, wasn't it? Bank of 4 and bank of 5, one up front, and just frustrate the hell out of players. And this is the difference between top coaches. So Tuchel's got to come up with a solution. Yeah. Like it's saying it, they've got a graphic on the television. Entire Ghana team successful passes 77. Konza did 73 on his own, and Mark Gay did 68 on his own.
I was about to read out something Wayne Rooney said, but
somebody said in the chat, isn't there? Dorco said something about.
Yeah, Rooney is a moron. Rooney is a moron. Wasn't that a song?
Yeah, Gordon is a moron.
Oh, that was it. That was it. Look, when I look at these stats here, I mean, it is 97% England momentum. Just that bit before half time where, they got the corner and everything, it kind of swung Ghana's way. But apart from that, they're literally, they don't look like they've come to win it. They look like they've come to get a 0-0.
Yeah, because that's probably enough for them, to be honest. Will 4 points get you out? I think they probably looked at
Croatia next, though. That's the problem. You've got to be careful.
Well, they have. They probably looked at. Look, I do think a lot of people. I know we are doubt our own nation, but I do think a lot of people looked at our performance against Croatia, who, like we said, 11th in the world rankings, and they thought that's not a bad result at all. England looked good all over. But England have got it. It's like Enzo in the Championship. Your job is to unpick the bank of 4 and 5. That's your job. So how are you going to do it? So it's going to be interesting to see whether Tuchel makes some changes.
What do you think the difference, or the main differences has been with this performance and Croatia? I mean, Croatia, I think, probably came to play more than Ghana have.
Yeah. 100%. Well, they did. They were aggressively pressing. So in the first 20 minutes of that game against Croatia, we were trying to out press each other but not commit or everything and then get caught.
Yeah.
And Ghana are not doing that. You know, they've got no intention to attack unless they get in a certain key position, and then they'll hit us on the break, or what happened with Semenyo and Reece James.
Yes. Right, I'm looking here. 78.4% possession in that half for England. At one point, it was up in 80%. I mean,
87 or something. It was ridiculous, wasn't
yes,
it?
it was. But if you're going to have that, you've got to do something with the possession, haven't you?
You have, but you've seen it historically. Like world-class teams can't break. Could be France, could be Spain. You can't. It's very difficult to break teams down. Very difficult. Normally, as games go on and people get tired, there are gaps appear. But I don't know.
Is this? Oh, I'm going to maybe sound a little bit silly here. I know that's hard for you to believe, you know, me being silly, but is this almost what England needed? Because, of course, we got so carried away, didn't we, with that first performance?
Yeah, we did. And to be honest, Ghana, I thought, actually, Clibbo said 2-1. He was a lot more realistic. You went 2-0, I went 3-1. So, yeah, the wingers are it's showing some of the crosses that the wingers are doing. So we are getting crosses in the box, but they are loading the box. Now, we just got to get lucky with one of them. We haven't got to win 4-0. As long as we win 1-0.
1-0 will do. Like I say, the shots, we've had 6.
Yeah.
They haven't had a shot. Now, neither of us have actually had a shot on target.
No, I knew you were going to say that, Chris.
I was watching a game the other day, and I can't remember what game it was. It wasn't England, and they said like there was a team again. I think it was like probably in Iraq or in Iran, and they hadn't had a shot on target in the first half. And I think there's not been that many teams that haven't. That sort of performance, if we come, I mean, I think it was Dorco, as we said, we're not going to win the World Cup playing like that. We're not going to beat a France. We're not going to beat a Spain. And I just think like this has brought us, when you look at these stats, this has brought us back down to earth in a way.
It has. I don't think we'll play many teams like Ghana, though, because Ghana are completely sitting back. And, you know, Enzo, for all his brilliance, and he looks like he's going to get the Chelsea job. Sorry, Man City job.
Chelsea job going back, is he? Okay.
I know. Well, with agency these days, you never know, do you, Chris?
What exactly? What have you been drinking? I tell you what,
I've been drinking cherry Coke, mate, because I'm up early in the morning.
I can't stand that. Tell you what, I've ordered is getting delivered tomorrow.
Right.
I haven't ordered any Magners or Thatchers. I have ordered Hawkstone cider.
Yeah, you explained my ignorance about that cider.
Do you not watch Clarkson's Farm?
No, mate, I don't have time.
Basically, if you want, it's his brand. He started with lager, and he's gone into cider. Although that's more Caleb, who's his assistant, and they've started doing a couple of, I think a couple of flavors anyway. But I absolutely love Hawkstone lager. But you can't, Hawkstone cider, but you can't get it from a lot of places.
Right.
I've had to order it from Amazon. Can you believe?
Right. Sometimes, you know, if you particularly like a really, I used to like Holston Export.
Oh,
you know, like a silver can. But it wasn't the normal Holston. It was a Holston Export. And although it was like a 5%, it was such a beautiful taste. And every now and again, a supermarket will do it.
Yeah.
And it's just a beautiful drink in my eyes. But sometimes you will spend the money if you get a really nice drink, don't you? You spend it.
It's not. It wasn't cheap. It was more expensive than this from Iceland. But I had it once before, and absolutely loved it. You can tell how boring the game was. We're talking cider here. I went on my honeymoon in my pre-cider days when I used to drink larger, and I went on my honeymoon to Jamaica, and my wife came with me. I didn't make her; she came of her own accord. But of course, over there, the local beer is Red Stripe. And we were there 3 weeks. And when you've been drinking the same lager, I'm just seeing an advert for your Gareth Southgate.
Oh, yeah.
When you've been drinking the same thing for 3 weeks, you actually think, God, this is nice. But again, it was one of those that back in the day, very few places sold it. You had to go. Sometimes a big Asda or a big Sainsbury's, because they've got so much, would have it. Should we talk about the match again?
Come on, Chris. We would have to, yeah. How can you feel 15 minutes after a first half like that?
Well, exactly. I mean, I'm dragging it out, but having to talk about cider. 6 shots we had. 2 of them were off target. 1 of them was from outside the box, and we had 1 offside. I mean, it just was uninspiring. And look, I'm all for hydration breaks. And I think I made Tom shit himself earlier when I came in. But when there's a hydration break on, that's when the studio normally talks to the commentators. I thought, well, I'll do that. What a fucking cock-up. I am all for hydration breaks, but why not have the hydration break while Ayew was being turned into a mummy? I mean, it would make sense, that. And I have to say, Tom made a very good point. Maybe the adverts weren't ready.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a love-hate relationship with, you think it's brilliant and then you think it's shit. You know what I mean? It's an emotional roller coaster for you, isn't it, Chris?
I love the hydration breaks when you play in here, and I think this is the way that it's going to be. Like I said, and I know Reese was probably too young to remember 1994, and yes, the game has changed, but I still say Christian Eriksen would have died if he'd have been playing over here with his heart.
What subs would you make then, Chris? Would you make any subs in the second half, or?
Oh my God!
What would the Chris Foryan team talk be then? What would it be?
Chris would be get off your fucking arse and do something, because at the moment, this is. I'd be looking around saying, has fucking Gareth Southgate come back in? Because that was a Gareth Southgate performance. That was not. What has happened to you? What is the difference between this and your Premier League fucking players? You should be able to beat the low block.
The difference is, though, Chris, if another team comes out and tries to play, there are gaps that you can exploit. When you get teams sitting the bank of 4 and 5, right, the first bank inside the 18-yard box and the other one like 5-10 yards in front, you are struggling for space. That's why Bellingham's throwing a Mardy, because he can't do anything with the ball. He's frustrated.
But then you every time I look at this, Madubuike earlier, he actually came inside, and there was 3 players on him, and he tried to take the 3 players on, and there was a pass open for him. I have to say, Gordon, I'm sorry, Prashant, I know you were saying he's coming into the game, hasn't done a lot for me. Rice, possibly change Rice. He's on a yellow card. But the players are coming out, so
we need Ireland. That's who we need up front, Chris, to get on the end of those crosses.
We do. You got to keep Kane on. Look, you got to keep Kane on.
Ollie Watkins.
Yes, possibly. Yeah, that's a good shout. We need somebody that can come on and can break it down. And look, we've got Premier League players there that should be able to do that. But we're going to get the guys back in because the players are in the tunnel. That's what they call it these days anyway. Thanks very much, mate. And I will see you at full time.
Cheers, bud.
Take care, mate.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure where Tom is, but good evening yet again. Ready for the
I
Super
could
Bowl?
hear you, and it was nice to be welcomed back with a burp.
I didn't burp.
You did. We heard you.
Oh no, that was me missus. me missus just put.
No, look, don't be blaming the dog or blaming the missus. Oh,
Hey,
he's back.
was,
He
that
decided.
you, was that you or not? Was that you or not? Was that you? Was it? Yeah, there you go then. Weren't me.
Well, what I missed here being late to the party, I just had to let a dog out. So what's been going on, Reese and Chris?
Oh,
Well, I think
I'm getting accused of
that's what
burping.
Reese would normally blame for the burp, the dog. But
The dog.
you're back, Tom. I'll let you
Good
guys
dog.
go and get on.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, so second
Can
half.
we do this, guys? Quickly, can we do this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just a case of finding that confidence we found in the second half against Croatia again, isn't it?
Yeah. Here we go. Tell me when you're ready to kick off.
Yeah, no worries, mate. It's happening now. So there you go. We're underway. Jordan Ayew taking the kick off here, and it's going to go all the way back to the Ghanaian defence. So they're going to kick it long here, trying to find a bit of pace perhaps here from Williams on this far side. He's matching up with Spencer. It looks like Spencer's won the second ball. Now England hopefully can get things under control. But Ghana coming out of the blocks here with a lot of players pushed forward. And is that the challenge we're going to face, do you think, Reece? They've survived 45 minutes here, you know, being nice and tight and compact. But when you think about it, now they can gamble a bit more, can't they?
Well, I hope so, because that will suit our game a bit more. Because again, I'll say again, we've got more quality on the pitch, but we've got to make this count because we've got a big 45 minutes coming up now, and we need to get in their faces, you know. And I think I don't know if they're playing like they disrespect us at the minute. You know, they don't respect us, and you know, it's sometimes good to play like that. And we need to show them that, hang on, we're the bosses here, and get our foot on the ball and really start playing some passes around them.
Yeah, exactly. Like Chris said, we'll have had a rollicking off Tuchel. You can imagine so here. It looks like saying that Gahey's now powering forward with the ball. I mean, a lot of the centre-back positioning in the first half was to keep, you know, that line. Okay, we were pushing it up into their half and we're trying to take the game into their final half of the pitch, right? But we weren't seeing those runs from players, those gambles from players, you know, the fullbacks really committing to finding that overlapping run and all the rest of it. As we see England now once again trying to push into their half here, but once again, similar to the first half, getting a bit shrouded around here by Ghana, and there's going to be a free kick won by Anthony Gordon here halfway in their half, which is good. Now we're going to quickly take this. Excuse me, going to quickly take this. No, the referee's pulled it back there, Reece.
Yeah, Gordon doing well. They're winning the free kick. We've got a comment here from Chris. What subs would you guys make? Go on, Chris. I'll let you go first on this one.
Well, I'd go for Eze, I think.
I think so. Just coming in off that left side, you know, instead of having get some more technical players in around that middle where Ghana are dominating at the minute. I would go for Rashford and I would go for Nico O'Reilly for Jed Spence and Anthony Gordon. Change that left side because we're going down the right hand side. Like, let's change that up and get a threat down the left hand side as well.
Yeah, I don't think we're playing Jed Spence to his strengths, which is part of my concern. I don't think he suits the profile of what Tuchel's trying to do. So I'd agree with you. I think Nico O'Reilly coming on is probably going to be a better idea for that. And I think with Eze, he's had a season really coming off the bench for Arsenal and being a bit of a decisive factor in probably getting them another 9 or 10 points they might not have got, right? So I think it fits his profile being that impact sub as well. England trying to play through the lines again there, but once again, a little bit sloppy in the passing. Now there's a long ball forward here. It's going to be Semenyo with Bellingham tracking all the way back here with the fullbacks. So Bellingham's done a good job there to win that outside of our own penalty area. He's going to come away with it now. Yeah, superb from Bellingham. That wasn't a track back there. We can't underestimate his work rate, right, Reece?
Yeah, Kane's just lost the ball there. He's been very sloppy tonight, and I don't think Thomas Tuchel will be afraid to make a change in that number 9 position there. But now, again, Jude Bellingham, his work rate goes under the radar a lot because everyone talks about his ability on the ball, but no one really talks about his work rate. He's one of the hardest working players in this team. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, just to answer Prasha, no subs were made, mate. No, there's been none made at all so far for either side. So Jordan Ayew is still leading the line for Ghana with a big bandage on his head, which I could spot him, which is really helpful. Dorco, how could Tuchel play one game so well and the next one so shit? It's interesting, isn't it? Because this is the downside of the tactical side of what some managers want to play. You would argue with England with world-class players, which we do have. We have a world-class squad. We're lucky. We've got players we could talk about coming off the bench and making a real positive impact in this. The challenge challenge is that when you come against a team that is very well disciplined, then you've got to look at Ghana and go, they've got Carlos Queiroz as manager, who obviously is Manchester United ex-assistant manager, got a lot of pedigree in the game, managed national teams before. I think he managed Iran before. Here comes Ghana saying that there's an opportunity. The shot luckily took a deflection there, and it's going to be taken under control by England at the far side. But danger there, a long ball into the box. It was taken outside the 6-yard box. And luckily for us, he didn't get the strike away there, Reece. Otherwise, we might have been in trouble.
Yeah, Jed Spence did really well there. That's why he is playing. That is one of the plus sides in playing Jed Spence, because I think if Nico O'Reilly were playing, he wouldn't be in that position. So that is the danger we have to watch out for in this Ghana team. You know, those long balls with those pacey wingers. But Jed Spence did really well there and has proved yet again why Thomas Tuchel has taken him there. And that is a very good ball there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it can't be kept in by Anthony Gordon. But once again, interesting how England have added now a long ball into this second half. And I think that's something which could be crucial here, because when the strategy of trying to play through the team and maybe not showing a commitment to getting the ball through the lines as quick as you need to hasn't quite worked, you're going to need to add some versatility into your game. So it's interesting to see a long ball there played. Madueke back at the fullback position here, matching up against Mensah, and it's going to go out and play on the far side for an England throw-in. But yeah, I think that's the thing. If you look at how Ghana are organised, I mean, I think their defence has been matched up perfectly. The line has been perfect so far. And I think the way you've got to go for that, like you say, just being a bit more creative, right, Reece, in how you get through them.
Yeah, well, the Ghana manager, he had a pedigree of being a very good defensive coach, as Roy Keane was saying, that when he was at Manchester United. So you know what he was going to bring to the table here. But they've been very robust, they've been very compact, and I can't fault their defensive structure. I think it's kind of the defensive structure I expect when we get to the latter stage of if we get to the latter stage of the tournament with Thomas Tuchel, because that's when I think Thomas Tuchel comes alive in those later tournament games, like the quarterfinals. That's where you see the real Thomas Tuchel come out.
It's funny because with this England team, I don't necessarily fear, say, an Argentina or Spain, actually. I think when you take them on man for man, they're going to push up on you a bit more. I think that suits us a bit more. I fear more the Japans, the Senegals, the teams that are going to sit back and make it hard for you, but have got the ability of a little bit of pace and chaos at the top end to maybe get you on the counter-attack. And like Dorco said there, this game is nothing like the last game. And it does make you wonder about that word confidence, doesn't it, Reece? 50 minutes on the clock here. England are going to have a little free kick in, maybe to do something saying that. Rice has taken it quickly, and unfortunately a terrible pass there, a misreading between Madueke and Rice as to what was going on, and a little bit of an argument between the two here about what the intention was with that. Rice has got it written on his face there. Confidence and frustration are the two key words that come to mind so far. I mean, Reece, how do you work beyond that? Because the confidence you've got to get back somehow, but you also can't get too frustrated, I guess, either, right?
Yeah, it's all about patience. This is where Thomas Tuchel's experience in being a tournament knockout manager will come pay dividends, really, because he is very experienced in keeping a calm head. Where that's where Gareth Southgate, I think, really struggled, sort of thing. So, but no, just going on that pass there, that's where Madueke really needs to fix up his game. It was a poor pass, but I think we've got to realise we've got great options off the bench, and I do think Thomas Tuchel soon will make some changes. So hopefully we'll see a bit of intensity up to a third gear, maybe sort of thing like that. But I'm not getting too worried just yet. But you know they're starting to be a bit more forward thinking, Ghana. So we have to be prepared for that.
Yeah, and the thing is, obviously, they've survived 45 minutes of the game with the game being 0-0, and they've got a lot of possession now. All of a sudden, down in our final third of the pitch, we just saw a throwing there from Semenyo down towards the byline, which was well duelled with by Ghana, and they had a lot of players up committed here. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 7 or 8 players committed there, and it looks like it might have gone out for a corner, which has been given now, which Jordan Ayew is about to take. Oh my word! Remember when I was saying Jordan Ayew had to be picked because he was going to want to take corners at Leicester? Let's hope this doesn't turn into something. But Ghana's confidence is up here, guys. Ball in now, and he goes all the way through. That was a rising player there, trying to get on the end of it. And luckily for us, it's missed his head. Ball now chucked back in. There's a 50-50 with Pickford there and also Mensah. And it's going to be given as a free kick here to England, luckily, siding on the side of the goalkeeper. But just go back to what the point I was going to make there is that my concern with this is that Ghana are in a position here where they're likely to gain more confidence the longer the game remains like this, whereas England are looking like they might get more frustrated. Two completely polar acts sort of feelings, aren't they there, Reece?
Yeah, the problem is with this sort of game, and this is where Thomas Tuchel's always lacked in his game, that possession build-up. You'd probably be better with someone like Russell Martin in this game, you know, someone who's used to that possession-based football. But you look at the profile players we've took, we've not really gone for possession-based players. We've gone for quick thinking, agile, athletic players, you know. So this is where the possession game is really, really taking a hit on the team a bit. But again, we have got those options on the bench. But I do expect him to make some changes soon, hopefully, touch wood.
Yeah, England now chipping the ball forward here over the halfway line. The long balls have been added. There's been a nice ball one down there, and inside the penalty area was Bellingham. He went for it and was shrugged off by the Ghana defender. Referee is going to give nothing for that, unfortunately. He was looking quite accusingly, and now there's been a bit of a crunch there in the centre midfield as England tried to keep that pressure on. And it's going to be Elliot Anderson who goes down here, and it's going to be a free kick. And there's a little bit of handbags there between Harry Kane and also for Ghana, Sibo, the number 8 in central midfield. So you could definitely see the temperature is rising here, and that might suit Ghana more than us, mightn't it, Reece?
I think so, yeah. Ghana will want a slow pace game, and you know, they'll look for that opportunity to break when we're in possession and we're out of shape. But yeah, I do think it will suit Ghana more, and that is a poor ball in from Madueke there.
Yeah, it's not the first time we see Madueke inside the first 10 minutes of the second half playing overhit ball, unfortunately. It might question maybe he could be one of the changes, and maybe it's not his night. Dorco, the last game was exciting. This is like watching Leicester. Oh, unfortunately, mate, wait for next season. I mean, I'm not full of confidence yet as to what we're going to see next season. But join us tomorrow night, guys. Me and Chris will be doing a show about, is this King Power's biggest gamble with Russell Martin? So come along and join that, because we're going to go through an article by Rob Tanner, and it's going to be very interesting to see what we pull out of that heading into obviously what will be Russell Martin's tenure at Leicester City. So anyway, England will never beat teams like Argentina or France. Maybe Argentina, but I'm not convinced about France, mate. I'd agree. France seem to have got this sort of opponent nailed down, haven't they? They eventually forced Iran into a lot of mistakes last night, and they did it with Senegal, who turned up in a similar fashion, didn't they? Prashant, find the space, lads. Do let them get into a shape. Yeah, well said. Sorry, Reece, but you're going to say something then, mate.
It's all right. I was just going back to Dorco's comment there. England will never beat teams like Argentina and France. Well, the reason why I have more confidence against those teams rather than these smaller teams is that Thomas Tuchel, you know, he's not a possession manager, and those teams are possession-based teams. And he will set up like he did in the Croatia game, where they will press hard from the front, but there won't be no possession. It'll be quick turnovers, because the teams like Argentina, Spain and France will have a lot of the ball, and that suits Thomas Tuchel's system to a T. What a flick that is. Chance for England. It's come to the far side. Madueke's going to shoot it. It's taken a deflection. It's been headed away in front of the goalkeeper by Ghana. Unfortunately, the deflection, it took the sting off the shot. Looking to find a bit of quality. Gordon turns with a strike straight down the centre of the goal, and unfortunately well read by the goalkeeper, who just literally grabs it there at the midriff area. But a bit more like it for England. It looked like the difference there was Spence coming down that right-hand side with width. I was saying I think we need to use him with width on that right-hand side, Reece, and him doing that seemed to open up some opportunities there for us. Yeah, I think you've seen there changing it up a little bit, going down the left-hand side rather than the right all the time, because we've seen that in the last game. It was getting very repetitive going down the same side. So yeah, we've got a bit of joy down that left-hand side there with Jed Spence and Anthony Gordon there. Gordon getting more involved in the game, as Prashant has said in the comments there. So yeah, a little bit better, but I think we need to, reaching the hour mark now, I do think we need to see some changes come on, maybe some fresh legs and a bit more technical players come on the pitch. Yeah, definitely. Nate, France and Argentina aren't going to play as defensively either. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Correct. I think that's a big part of our challenge, isn't it? Yeah. They're the big dogs. They're the big dogs, and England are around about here at the minute. So that they're not going to have the possession to beat. They're not going to go toe-to-toe with the teams like Argentina and France. They're going to be more pragmatic and play like we did in the Croatia game. Quick, fast, bang, get the ball forward and exploit the spaces. Yeah, one thing I'd like to see as well in the change is Ghana win the ball here. And they've been played through him, beating the offside chap. Spencer's going to have to race back. Luckily, he's got legs on him and he can keep up with Williams, which means that should have killed that phase of the attack. It comes into the central midfield position. Bellingham has shoved the guy in the back there and got away with it, possibly slightly. Wow. And there's going to be a counter-attack now for England. I think that was a free kick. I think that was quite harsh, actually, on Ghana. Here we go down the left-hand side for Anthony Gordon. Bellingham trying to link up as well, and unfortunately Gordon's been tackled. He's going to go out of play for an England throw-in. I think the thing England need here is a bit more width.
I think Ghana are defending really narrow in the centre of that pitch, aren't they? I think if you overload rather than invert your fullbacks all of a sudden, I think then all of a sudden you're going to open up opportunities here, as once again England come with Gordon on this left-hand side, finds Bellingham on the edge of the penalty area. He's going to come inside, chip it in towards the 6-yard box. Unfortunately, it's been well read by Ghana again, and it's going to come back out. Ghana will hand back in though, Reece.
Yeah, still trying the same ideas all the time. Chips into the box. The Ghana players at the back are going to eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So Gordon is being too repetitive, going down the same direction. It's like Fatawu last season, just trying the same trick over and over again, and it's not working. We need a bit more. He's done it again, but it gets across into the box there. But we've won a free kick.
Yeah, we have Anthony Gordon's holding his ankle here, guys. There's a bit of a 50-50, but England have got the opportunity now from a free kick. It looks like it's right on the byline, though, Reece. Is it right on the goal line, this one?
I believe so, yeah, Tom.
Yeah, it was a late little nibble as Gordon was making the cross, and it came down the back of his Achilles there. So hopefully he'll be all right. It looks like he's back up, guys, which is good news. But yeah, maybe it will be time for a change. And like Chris has put there, Harry Kane's had 10 touches, 5 less touches than Three Lions goalkeeper Jordan Pickford, which sums up a lot about us pushing up onto them. And the problem is Kane's got to play as a false nine here. Rice is going to take a free kick, though, guys. It is in line with the 6-yard box just to this left-hand side of the penalty area. Everyone's up here for England. Harry Kane is trying to bring players back a bit. He's chipped in towards the back of the 6-yard box. Free header. Back off the defender, unfortunately. And he's going to go out for a corner here to England. That was an opportunity, wasn't it, with a free header?
It was an opportunity there. I just watched it there. It was it peeled off the back there brilliantly from the edge of the box. Rice found him inch perfect with his head there. But again, Ghana defending resiliently there.
Once again, it was Sibo, once again, who so far for me has been an utter unit in that central midfield for him. He's got himself in front of everything, and he looks like he's got a bit of the Roy Keane about him, where he's fighting really hard here. Going to be in the corner now from Declan Rice. It's going to be an outswinger again, guys, from the opposite side of the pitch. There is a short option again, but this time inside the penalty area. Ghana have got 4 players there. England have settled a bbit further out from the 6-yard box this time, probably anticipating, hopefully better, where this ball's going to go. It comes in, and it's going to be hit by Elliot Anderson. Unfortunately, it's over the top of the crossbar, rising, and unfortunately, Ghana's competitiveness, for that ball has probably put him off there, Reece.
Yeah, a good ball in there from Rice. It reminded me of the Harry Kane goal where he arrived at late in the box there. So, yeah, it's a good tool that we've been using there. But unfortunately, weren't really the best player to have on the ball there, Elliot Anderson.
Yeah, exactly. That's twice now. Elliot Anderson's been the guy who's found the space, though, interestingly enough. And I think that's crucial when you look at how we try and do this, because there is space there. It's just that Ghana are marking sort of zonally quite well, and we're struggling to get past that. England, once again, coming into their half. Here's the hour ticks past 2 on the clock. Gordon now on the left-hand side takes a deflection off Mensah, and it's going to go out here, I believe, for a throwing. No, the referee has given it to Ghana, saying it touched Gordon last. So, but well, then straight away it's Elliot Anderson looking like his energy is firing here. Kane has gone down outside the area for another free kick here, and Thomas Partey is protesting, saying I was going for the ball, but he did not see Kane though over his shoulder, did he, Reece?
That's much better. That was what we were seeing from the Croatia game. Lose the ball, bang, win it back straight away. Elliot Anderson there being the absolute key to this team, pressing from the front there. And it's are you all right there, Tom?
No, I just said ooh because I saw what happened to Kane. I thought, oh, he stood on his foot there, didn't he?
Let's have a look. They both stood on each other's foot there by the looks of it, but Partey did take the man there first, and yeah, it's a clear free kick.
Yeah, he came from the blind side, which is really key. But what you say, that you make that opportunity there from just having a high level of energy, don't you? And it's good to see. And so far, I'll give Elliot Anderson credit. He was my man of the match last time as well. His energy he has brought at the start of this second half could be the little tweak in the right direction you need to create an opportunity. And if one goes in, the game changes. Rice is no chip the free kick in now. It's outside the area. He could have gone for target. It's been hit from distance there from Anderson. It's going to deflect once again for Ghana player. Strike from distance over the crossbar from outside the area. It's Madueke again. And now curling and going hard past that far post.
He needed to do better there. I think someone like Saka would have probably hit the target there. And again, that right side is just lacking that quality. And we are seeing some changes now. And they're the 2 changes that I suggested, I believe, mate. No, not Saka, but I did O'Reilly.
Yep, here we go, guys. Oh, saying that, I haven't seen that. They've just got the game underway. So,
okay. Well,
Hasn't happened yet.
I did see Nico O'Reilly and Bukayo Saka getting stripped off there, and I think that's a good switch there from Thomas Tuchel. Get some more technical players on the pitch and really break down with some lovely key passes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well said. Robert Skipper, we seem to have to get Gordon off. He's been ineffective in both games so far. We're desperate for more creativity. That's it. And yeah, it's a fair point, Dorker. If we can't beat Ghana, we might not have a chance here. I mean, it's definitely a game so far that's knocked the confidence out of the sails after what was a pretty good second half, at least against Croatia, and maybe some growing pains in the first half. We're going to see some changes now coming up for Ghana first. This feels like Leicester last season, doesn't it? But you are right, mate. Saka and O'Reilly are getting ready to go here as well.
Yeah, I'm not Dorker. I understand the frustration, but I'm not getting too panicky over it yet, because you've seen a lot of big teams struggle against. I mean, look at Spain against Cape Verde. Could not break them down, and Cape Verde are a much worse side than Ghana. So I think we need to calm it down a little bit. At the end of the day, it's the World Cup. It's a big stage. All the players are going to be firing. Yeah, should we be doing better? 100%. But let's not panic so far. At the end of the day, we've still got 3 points on the board at the minute. Soon to be 4 potentially if we don't score. So let's just calm it down.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, we're going to see the substitutions happen now a minute. We've got a Ghana player down. It is number 3, and it is Urakidi. Gordon has come off, so you were right with that one there, Reese. Gordon is off here for Saka, and it is going to be Spence. Yeah, you were bang on, mate. Spence for O'Reilly.
Oh, well, I've got the 2 players right. I wonder who's going to be playing on the left side then. So this is an interesting change here from Thomas Tuchel. Who's going on that left hand side then?
And here comes Abdul Fatawu. Watch out!
Oh, for God's sake! Do you know what? I'm going to speak as a Leicester fan here. If he has a quality game, I'm going to rage, because all season he's been arrogant, he's been cocky, he's been lazy. He's done nothing, and he's contributed to us getting relegated. And if he puts in the performance of his life, I'm going to scream.
Williams is off for Fatawu. Ayew is also on as
well. Brilliant.
Amazing. And Ayew's off as well, guys. So it's one ex-Leicester player for one current Leicester player. Well, for how long, we don't know. It'll probably only be a couple of weeks until that changes as well. So interesting stuff here. We've still got 25 minutes to go here. And yeah, it's interesting times, because the game is a bit on edge here, and you definitely feel that England showed signs there. I mean, it's interesting, Reece, isn't it? The individual players doing it. So like Anderson there really stepping up and just showing that a little bit more energy to his game as well. I think hopefully with Saka coming on, you'd hope that would make a bit of a difference here, right?
I think so, Tom. And I said it last game. He's probably the most important player to this system, because he's so high in energy. His passing's unbelievable. And I'm just trying to see who's playing on this left hand. Madueke has gone to the left hand side here, so he'll be looking to whip balls into the box. And I think Saka will try and cut in and maybe have a shot on goal potentially. Brilliant.
Oh, Pickford's come all the way out of his area here, and there's been a collision between Pickford here, and it's going to be a free kick to England. It's on the edge of the penalty area. It was a nice ball through from Ghana. We talk about them trying to counter-attack here, and it went all the way through there for the opportunity. And then, like I say, 50-50 outside the area. The right-back Senya was all the way on his own, and Pickford there literally mullered him. And I think the referee's been quite kind there, because it was a 50-50. It actually looks to me like the opposite. It looks to me like Pickford fouls him.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see the close-up angle. Here we go now. No, he clatters straight into Jordan Pickford there. He completely misses the ball there, the Ghana player.
I don't know. I think he was technically the guy with... I know the ball was a little bit in front of him, but I just think Pickford there... I don't know. I think he turned his back and just went straight into him, but we'll take it, I think, in that circumstance.
I think it's one of them, Tom. If it goes either way, you couldn't really complain. But no, I think the referee got that just right there for me. We've got the ball at the back here with Gahey.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see what's going on. So, okay, O'Reilly's now on the ball here for England at the halfway line. Going to play it up to Konsa. He looked like he had the fear of God in him when he allowed that opportunity there, played through by Ghana. On the far side now for England, 67 minutes on the clock, 23 to go plus any added time. Due a hydration break at any time here, which might not be bad in the circumstances if we can fire another rocket at them. England trying to play the ball through. They'll win the second ball here. Kane's going to get a strike away through the crowd. It's low and not much power on it. The goalkeeper read it well, and unfortunately it's not in the back of the net. It will be a good save again from the Ghana goalkeeper, but we probably doubled the amount of shots we had on goal here, Reece, in the last 5 minutes.
We have, yeah, and just going back there, Ghana reached the quarterfinals of the 2010 World Cup. You know, that's a little statistic there. They've always been a respectable team at the World Cup. They've always performed. So, you know, I think we're being a little bit not harsh on them, you know, because we should be doing better. But you know, they are a resilient African team, and they're one of the best performing African teams at the World Cup every single year.
Yeah, fair comment, mate. England back underway now as we're looking to take this free kick, and it's going to come to Anderson again. Bit of space here for Anderson. He's going to lay it off to O'Reilly, who's trying to drive into the box and want to Madueke perhaps. Madueke comes inside instead, lays it off into the central midfield positions where we're going to find Mark Gahey now. Here come England with numbers forward again. Everyone pushed up into the half. Ghana trying to get organised. Here's Saka trying to do some nice step overs. 2 men on him on this far hand side. Plays it back here again now to Konsa, and we're going to play it back here again to Anderson, who's the guy who seems to be finding a lot of space for me so far. But once again, it's the easy passes we're seeing here, isn't it, Reece? They're holding the ball, they're passing left to right. We're not seeing someone driving with the ball at their feet. We're not seeing them run into the box. And hopefully in a minute here with Madueke on this left-hand side, he's going to get the cross in. He's going to go to the back post. There's a header on it there, but unfortunately, for the third time in this game, it's a header from an England player. It's gone high over the crossbar.
Yeah, it was good ball in there from Madueke. It was a lot better. Since good tactical change there for Thomas Tuchel, switching him onto the left-hand side, because he has been putting some good balls into the box. So we needed to utilise that a bit better. Saka there, rising there. He's made an impact since he's come on. And I think the Ghanaian players are fearing him a little bit, and we have got the hydration break now.
Yep, hydration break, guys. Get your thoughts in the chat here. Thanks for being with us tonight. And yeah, so far, you say with 20 minutes to go here, it's 0-0. Ghana will probably feel quite confident about this because they've had a couple of little looks themselves. And you kind of get the impression the way this game's lined up, Reece, it might be 1 goal to win it, right?
I think so. I think so, yeah. And I think that will be... that at the end of the day, if it's 1-0 England, it's 3 points on the board and it's one step close to qualification. And then we've got the job done there, really.
Scoring though, guys.
I can see it scoring. Yeah, it's taking a bit of frustration. It's a bit frustrating right now. I still think we can. I think we'd like to have seen better by now, but all it takes is one chance. That's the nature of the game, right? And while it is frustrating, a bit of luck is shining on you. You know, lessons learned from tonight. It's not over yet. What do you think, Reece?
Yeah, I agree, Tom. Again, Thomas Tuchel's not a silly man. He knows we've not got the best playmaking team at the World Cup. He's gone for more speed, agile, athletic players there to hit them on the counter, as you've seen in the second half against Croatia. That's the way he wants to play. But no, I understand Chris's frustration there. You know, could we score a goal? But at the end of the day, it's not at the end of the world. Let's see, we've got Panama or Croatia there at midnight tonight. But so yeah,
Panama. I mean, well, not Ghana, which is a new country I've just invented there. Ghana, they're ranked 64th.
You silly.
They're ranked 64th in the world, behind Burkina Faso, Iraq, Uzbekistan, Qatar, Mali, another new country there, Congo, and Panama. Panama, who we're going to play next, are 40th in the world. Now, if we can't beat the 64th, I'm playing devil's advocate here because you look at Spain, Cape Verde, and you made that point earlier. It was a very good point, but 14 shots, only 2 on target, 23 touches in their box. It's just, I said to Wayne at half time, it's like after the Lord Mayor's show.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I'll say this is the bad point of his team selection. He's not got a lot of playmakers, but I will say I think that does surprise me that Ghana are ranked that low, 64th in the world. But I think it's because they've had a poor record recently in the AFCON. You know, they didn't qualify for the last AFCON, so you know that might be the reason why they're down there. But
they were even lower. There were 9 places below that up until recently. So.
Yeah. Oh, well, we've got to change here. Morgan Rogers is coming on.
Yeah, Ghana have taken off Cebu. Ghana have taken off Cebu here. Bellingham's coming off for Rogers, and Eze's coming on as well. So I'm going to guess it's for Madueke, but we haven't seen the number up. No, it's for Anderson. Okay.
Wow, that does surprise me.
That is bold. I think Anderson's been one of the better performers second half. Yeah.
But, we've said Tuchel makes the bold decisions, doesn't he?
Exactly.
Well, that's
what his job is. That's what his
Yeah,
job
well,
is.
exactly. Yeah, it's interesting you bring up Panama as well, Chris, because Panama obviously we beat in a pre-season friendly. We're not even there yet. We haven't got Bristol Rovers yet, have we? In a friendly, and we beat them. What was it, 5-0, 6-0? But then you look at Panama and how they lined up. You go, it's a similar profile of team and how they're going to play. Right, they frustrated this Ghana team for 94 minutes and lost in the 95th, just like a week ago, right? So it's interesting now how you look at that and go, well, the England team can do it because they've done it in a friendly against Panama. So what is the difference tonight? Do you know what I mean? It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Tom. I mean, it's a strange one, isn't it, really? This is how the World Cup goes, really, but I think Ghana have just got that bit more quality than Panama, so that's why they got the win in the end. But we've got the ball here with Nico O'Reilly.
Yeah, going to go to the far side here. We've got an opportunity. It's going to go back now to Reece James, back to Mark Gahey, once again in a similar position to how we started this game, except we're 75 minutes further down the line now. And that is with all the Ghana players back. 2 nice blocks here. We've got a block of 5, we've got 1, then we've got a block of 4 above them, which is now switched the opposite way to a 4-1-5. England once again coming down the far side with Saka here. Got 2 against him. Sorry, Sivu is still on. I thought he got taken off. That was my mistake. I was misreading as a substitution for Anderson. Here comes Rodgers now looking to bring some energy on that far hand side. He's going to get the cross and he's going to deflect it off a leg, and it's going to be a corner to England. 75 minutes on the clock. Rodgers looking like he's brought some good energy straight out of the blocks there, Reece.
Yeah, he's a quality player. Had an amazing season for Aston Villa. They won the Europa League and they finished top 4. He brings out something different to what Jude Bellingham does. He's a bit more agile than Bellingham. He's got a bit more agility to his game, and very quick on the half turn, quicker than Bellingham, I would say. So yeah, very nice change. It's a bold substitutes here from Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, which I think is what we need. Rice is going to be able to take this corner, guys. Once again, from the far side of the picture, it's going to be an outswinger, this one. I do question if we want to mix this up a little bit. Outswinger towards the edge of the 6-yard box. But once again, Ghana have got all their players positioned there. It will come down to an England player now in Eze. And unfortunately, it's gone out of play here from Abdou Fatawu. And actually, it was Madueke, and it's going to be a goal kick, I believe, which is unfortunate for us. But once again, you'd argue, Reece, in games like this, where you're struggling to break teams down, your set pieces are what are going to really take you over the line, aren't they? And unfortunately, the set pieces haven't been there today, free kicks or corners, have they?
Yeah, I'm surprised we've not gone for maybe 2 up front, because Thomas Tuchel has shown in the past he is prepared to go 2 up front and get a different option there up front alongside Harry Kane, or even take Harry Kane off and bring on Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins. But I think we can only make 1 more sub now. So yeah, that'll be like I say, it's a strange one, isn't it? I'm a bit disappointed tonight, but again, I weren't expecting fireworks this game.
No, it's interesting, isn't it? And well said. It's a woeful display so far from Stuart Russell. Good to see it, bud. Yeah, it has been, really, hasn't it? It's been a letdown of what we've seen. Is Adams? Oh my goodness me, Chris. We'll talk about this tomorrow night because there's a chance he might be sticking around, right? And we'll see what happens with that. But we've got a Ghana player down on the deck at the moment. It is the right back here, Senior. And it was a 50-50 with Harry Kane off the ball, and Kane's just lent into him there, using his physicality, and he's moaning at Harry Kane now, saying you're being a bit of a bully here. So he's obviously learning from Jordan Ayew, this Ghana team, aren't they, Reece? Because they're all moaning about stuff every 5 minutes.
Yeah, they're resorting to Diego Simeone's dark arts tactics here, because they know they're not going to beat us through quality, so they have to try dirty tactics to win the game, really. But at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do to win. And now a moth has just come through my back door. Brilliant.
Yeah, I took the decision to live in a sauna second half and shut the doors before moths and things started to try and venture in from the grey outdoors. We need a bit of that light a moth would follow right now to try and get over this. I mean, let's talk worst case scenario here, Reece, which is, not worst case actually, maybe the second worst. We draw this game. I mean, like, we'll be disappointed, we'll be upset the fact we couldn't break down Ghana, but it's not the end of the world, is it, actually?
It's not, but it's ideal that we get the 3 points, then we can make those changes to the team and not have to play the likes of Kane or Bellingham or Rice. We can be a bit more, can switch it up a bit, and, because we know we've qualified, so we can play a few of those the second-hand players, the bench players, really, like the likes of Henderson maybe, or Eze, play some more, Watkins, Toney, just switch it up a bit and see what they can do on the big stage. So, but it's it might not turn out that way, but we've still got time though.
That's it. Eze's just been found there on the right hand side. This game's getting physical now. Fatawu's just gone straight in on Eze there, and he's countered attacked here. And Ghana are in 1-on-1, and it's going to be Prince, and he's been bundled down from behind. Is the referee going to give a penalty? The ball is still loose. It's in the 6-yard box. It's gone behind for a corner. Will there be a penalty here potentially with VAR? What happened there was Eze. It's an offside. Well said, mate. Eze there got into a bit of a battle with Fatawu. Fatawu had the physicality. I wish he'd shown the championship last year. And whoa, offside. That is a lucky one because it might have been a penalty. What do you think about that from Konza there?
Yeah, Fatawu did well there. He used his strength and physicality there on Eze, and Konza completely. Yeah, that would be a foul if it would have been offside, but if it was onside, but it wasn't onside, luckily, and we get away with them there big time.
Let off for England, guys, and that is what we were worried about with Abdul Fatawu coming off the bench. Remarkable to see that much physicality in his game, and well said, Chris. Lady Luck is smiling upon us because if that hadn't been offside, that would have been a penalty, and it might have even been even worse for England. We might be 1-0 down. We're going to have an opportunity now to build from the back at least, and it's going to come down to Eze here, who seems to be sat in a fullback position right now, which is interesting because, of course, we have seen Anderson taken off and a bit of a shift around in who's playing in what position. So here come England over halfway. Eze in the central midfield position alongside Rice there. O'Reilly just to the left of him, but it's come back to Konza here and Gahey. Gahey's going to come forward here. England's still looking a little bit nervy about coming forward, knowing the danger that Ghana have possessed and could have shown then, mate.
Yeah, I can understand though, because there's 10 minutes of the game left. I'd want us to be a bit more attacking. Like in the first half, really. Like we, carry on from the second half, but we didn't. We've gone back to, Southgate old days and be a bit more cautious. But it's weird now being 10 minutes into the. Last 10 minutes in the game, you are going to be that little bit cautious because there won't be enough time to get the equaliser if we do concede.
No, that's it. Offside there for Saka, unfortunately, as well, which is going to stop the game here a little bit further. Carlos Queiroz walking around the sideline looking like a villain from a sort of mob film, isn't he, with a gold chain around his neck. So he's leading his team here to a really good defensive performance, and that was really their opportunity, wasn't it? I'm not sure it was even offside, though, Reece. I'm not sure it was offside.
It didn't look offside to me, but unless his foot was offside, but his whole body wasn't, I don't know. But again, we'll take it because my godfather Russ has always said, you can have quality to win anything, but you need that bit of luck. You need that little bit of luck.
You do, especially when you can't score a goal. I mean, I used to moan about this with Arsenal fans moaning when they would be 1-0 to the Arsenal, VAR's ruined us. Like, why not be 3-0 to the Arsenal? VAR never bothers you then, does it? Because you're 3-0 up. And that's part of the thing we're probably facing in this. Ball to the far side for England now. Saka here trying to take his man on. He's got arms all over him. And the referee and his assistant is going to give a free kick for England on the far-hand side. Saka taking on 2 men there, and that's what we've been looking for from him, right, Reece, to come on and maybe be a bit more nimble, getting around players like Mensah, who've been very physical so far. Yeah,
Saka's just got that bit more agility to his game there, trying to, on the half turn there, very, very quick. And we need him to get back to full fitness as ASAP because he could be a game changer for us on that right side with that little bit of quality we've been lacking through Madueke.
Yeah, Declan Rice is still over this. Surprise, surprise. Saka's coming over to him now. It's right by the throw-in line at the top end of the pitch here, probably about 5 yards out from the corner flag. Sorry, in line with the edge of the penalty area. My apologies. I thought it was a bit further in than that. There's a 2-man wall for Ghana. There is Reece James completely unmarked here on the edge of the D, on the edge of the penalty area. You just slide it into him. Maybe you can have a shot here. But I think it's going to go in the box, and it's going to be Saka who's going to whip this in with his left foot. He curls it in towards the near post, but once again, does not get past the first man. England now on the counter-attack, maybe having to bring down Ghana player, and Fatawu was looking to break there, and Gahey's had to wrestle him to the ground outside the D, and it's going to be a free kick now to Ghana with 8 minutes left, plus whatever else is going to be added on.
Yeah, again, another poor delivery. The last game, this is so disappointing with the set pieces because it's one of Thomas Tuchel's strong points as Rashford comes on the pitch for Madueke there.
Final change. Yep.
Yeah, and it's just so disappointing because the deliveries last game were excellent, really, really good, and we caused problems every single time. we got in Croatia's box, but this has been very lackluster with the balls in the box. Been very disappointing.
It's also been a bit of a mental challenge, this game, hasn't it? And what the concerning thing is that what is your mental ability as a team when your backs are against the wall? And the second half, I saw frustration. I didn't see like, we're going to let it wash over us. We're going to play better. We're going to add a bit of energy like we saw against Croatia, right? And that's a bit of a concern. But as I say that, O'Reilly's made a nice overlapping run there with Rashford. The referee's not going to give a free kick. And Ghana are getting pretty rough here as they play a counter-attacking ball over the top. And it's Jordan Pickford is halfway out inside his own half. And luckily he's laid it off there. But this is the danger now, isn't it, Reece? If we gamble a bit too much, Ghana are knowing they can counter-attack us at will with two players stood up there in Fatawu and Prince, the new substitutions that have come on.
Yeah, the Fatawu has been causing a bit of a menace down that right side, as he's shown he has that quality, to break England with a pass there. But unfortunately, it was poor there. But we've lost the ball or we've run it back there. But no, it's been very frustrating this game. Ghana have played really, really well and really played well to their game plan. Just going to react to a comment here from Dorco. If we can't beat Ghana, we're fucked. Well, if that was the logic, then Spain would be fucked as well because they couldn't beat Cape Verde. But yeah, no one's really talking about Spain because it's not England. So, got to be, you can't pick and choose sort of thing. Spain, and they go and beat Saudi Arabia 4-0. So, it works both ways, Dorco, but I can understand your concern.
Yeah, it's an interesting point, this, isn't it? Because I think a lot of, you could argue that England failures of the past. You might even say there's a lot of it down to press. There's a lot of it due to the expectation of the media, the fans as well. And look, I think Tuchel, we lost to Japan, didn't we, in a friendly? I think he's still got credit in the bank here for me. Well, I'm not going to throw my toys out the pram. A draw here wouldn't throw us out of the competition, would it? And there's still work to improve. And you'd hope, leaning on what we saw in the second half against Croatia, they could do some work on the training pitch to perhaps make that passing in the final third a little bit more precise as well. Madueke's overhit a few things today. As I say, Rashford's crossing one in. That was a dangerous ball. Goalkeeper came out to get it. It was headed clear by Ghana instead. Going to come to the far side now with Saka. Come inside, turn and strike, and it's well saved down in the bottom left-hand side of the goal. And it looked like it was going to bounce, Reece, and go in the bottom corner. Unbelievable. That's a bit more likely here from England.
Yeah, Saka, Madueke, that probably was shot would have gone wider over the bar where Saka's got that precision with his shot, very... for fuck's sake.
Played long, and Rashford's knocked it down nicely. Kane's back in the false nine position. Rogers laying it off. England trying to turn up the tempo. Kane header off the crossbar. It was O'Reilly, and now it's over the top. Oh, Harry Kane's missed a sitter. Oh my goodness me. The ball came in. O'Reilly with his head on it. It comes back off the crossbar. The loose ball falls to an unmarked Harry Kane. 9 times out of 10, he breaks the net with what comes next. It rattles over the top of the crossbar as if he was playing in the NFL at this stadium. Unfortunately for us, he's not playing for the New England Patriots. He's playing for England. Oh, God. Sorry, I went off on one there, mate.
It's all right. It was actually O'Reilly with the header there, and Harry Kane. Yeah, it was O'Reilly with the header there. It was a fantastic header there. There's a shot from Saka. Good save from the keeper there on target. As I said, that's why we need Saka fully fit soon. But I have to say, it was a great header there from O'Reilly. Really unlucky, and Harry Kane. It just bounced up that tad too high to control it and hit it into the ground and into the goal. But it was a good chance there. But have we left it too little, too late?
Yeah, exactly. I've got to give credit to the goalkeeper. That was a really good save because it was bouncing. When it goes like that and it bounces just in front of your hand low, to get your hand in the right position to keep it out of bouncing over or under, fair play to him. It was a really good save. And after that, maybe you make your own luck with one coming off the crossbar. But then that Harry Kane one, you hit it with so much anger, unfortunately. It probably just needed a little tap in to find the back of the net. 3 minutes here left. Will there be a famous winner in this game? And that's the crazy thing about football. I said it at the start of the second half, didn't I, Reece? All it takes is one moment. You could argue, like Prashant has said there, that should have been the lead. There is still time yet. There's still seconds in this game. Rashford now crossing one to the far side of the pitch. It's going to go over the top of the defender there. Saka kicks it over his own head, does the Matrix move as if he's facing bullet time, and he gets the throwing on the far side here. Come on, England. Come on.
Yeah,
going to be played back.
Yeah, sorry.
Carry on, mate. No, carry on, mate.
Sorry, man. I do apologise.
Rashford
and Saka have really made a difference on these wings, and I think that's where they will start the knockout games if we get through there. But Ghana are breaking here.
Yeah, Rice has done a good job to get back and track it off. I'll give Rice and Bellingham credit in particular today. I think they're tracking back. Rice is now limping, though, because he took one on top of the foot there from the studs of one of the Ghana players there. I think it was Prince trying to break through on that far-hand side. He's now going to settle down for a bit here. Then here comes Gahey now driving forward. Come on, England. You've got to really use this energy in your favour. Sometimes you make your own luck. Rashford has made a difference since coming on. His direct passing, direct balls into that penalty area has really made a difference. Eze now trying to tag up with him. Eze using his skill to come inside centrally, lays it off again to Konsa. Energy dripping out of it though again, isn't it, Reece? They need to turn his volume up while the backing's behind them.
Yeah, we're going to have a few minutes added on at the end of the 90 as well. So can we get those last couple of chances and maybe take one of them here? Ghana are really sitting deep now. The legs have gone from all the hard work they've done to keep it at 0-0.
Yeah, they're sitting really deep to the point where Harry Kane has stood offside the majority of the time, trying to encourage that defence to come back and get it. But fair play to them. Queiroz has got them well organised here. They've got that back four. They're not going to move. If he's going to be offside, he will be offside. Once again, though, Rashford trying to ping a nice ball in there. This was the chance, wasn't it? And I can't believe O'Reilly's header hit the bar. And then Kane, he was slightly put off to the credit of the player for Ghana there. I believe it was Ewan Kenny. No, it wasn't. It was number 4. It was, I've got it written down here. I can't see it. Ajeti, the centre-back, put him off because he was directly in front of the goal-scoring opportunity. And we're about to see how much added time we've got to go here as Ghana launch one forward for Semenyo, who's trying to take it down. And he's battling with Konsa. Semenyo gets a strike away, but it's going to be a free kick to England.
Yeah, poor strike there from Semenyo. He's having a bit of a wrestle there with the back two there. I think the back pairing have been a lot better tonight. I think they've been a lot more settled than Stones and Konsa were in the last game. So I think going forward, this should be the centre back partnership. But then you do lose that centre back who's good on the ball in John Stones. But at the end of the day, I think we would just need pure defenders at this stage rather than somebody good on the ball. I don't know what you think to that, Tom.
Yeah, I think Stones looked surprisingly nervy last time. For a guy of his experience, that's the key thing you want to take him in for. Right? I think he looked surprisingly nervy. I think Gahey has actually got a nice balance, and I think he's got a cool head, but I think his pace and his physicality is really well balanced. He reminds me of Maguire when Maguire was at Leicester before he lost that yard of pace. And I think that's that might sound like a slander, but that's a compliment because back then I was like, that's the reason we got 75 million quid for him, right? Here come England now on the far hand side. 6 minutes of added time it will be, guys. We nearly played one of them. We can see the legs stretching here, crossing towards the back post, going to be headed behind by Ghana. It's going to be another England corner. Can we do something with this, Reece? 5 minutes to go.
Well, I hope so, Chris. There's still a bit of time left. One of these deliveries has got to be better than what they have been all day, all game. So, hopefully we can get one of these in and take the pressure off that final game where we get 2 wins, 6 points from a possible 6, and go into the last game a bit more relaxed and we can play a bit more freely. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Rice is about to take this free kick, and I agree with this clip. I don't think I've got past the resting heart rate in this game. Hopefully now, mate, it might jump into action as if you're being zapped by the electrocution.
I keep calling
No, it's fine. Not a problem, mate. Oh, Rice is crossed to the back post, and that's the first time it's missed all the Ghana heads the entire game. But unfortunately, England players there to get on the end of it. Come on. Had to be someone there. They were all ball watching. Kane knows he misjudged it. Oh, that's so frustrating.
That was the delivery I was just talking about a couple of minutes ago. That one delivery had to be better, and it was just between Morgan Rogers there and Harry Kane, and nobody took advantage of it. I don't think Mr. Thomas Tuchel was going to be too happy with this performance if it stays like this. But we have got. Oh, I thought he was going to have for a throw in there.
Rogers has picked the ball up really well there, guys. He's now driving through the central midfield. He's going to find maybe Rashford down the left there. Good ball. Rashford's going to have an opportunity to cross it in. He does. It's going to hit Ghana again. He's going to go behind for a corner again. Another opportunity, what we tried a minute ago here, Reece.
Come on, let's live in rent-free in Reese's head. Oh, you always are. You're a good-looking man, Chris. I can't. Silly. But no, Rogers, Rashford and Saka have made a big difference. Like they did in the last game, they made a difference when they come on. So maybe these are the 3 impact subs we will need if we're chasing a goal in the latter stages of the competition.
Back post. Oh, it's been headed again. It's going to come down to Eze, who flicks it back in. Flicked on. It's off the line from Ghana. Would you believe it? Headed off the line. It was Mark Gahey, guys.
Oh!
Another corner for England. 3 minutes to go. Rice is going to line it up again. You can tell they're desperate. Look, they've not played well today. This is not the best the England team can do. But getting a late-minute goal in spite of that, when your backs have been up against it a little bit, it can change the world, would you believe it? That's why we love this game. No champions ever play well all the time. Back post corner again, punched away by the goalkeeper, and they're going to go out for a throwing on the far hand side to England again. The pressure is on with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Not all the teams win every game that they're in the in the World Cup. So it's nothing unusual that we're seeing here. Like I say, not every team wins every game. It doesn't work like that. You get tough, hard games along the way, and hopefully this is that game we need to kick us up the backside for that final group game, and hopefully go into the latter stage of the competition.
Ball in from Rice there. Nice little flick up. It's been headed down by Rodgers. Unfortunately, it's been kicked out again. But once again, England can keep the pressure on here with a throwing from the far-hand side. The time is ticking, though. 94 minutes coming up on the clock. We take the throw in quickly. 3 England players on its right-hand side, including Saka. Played into Eze. Eze tries to flick it in. Looks like it might hit an arm there outside the area, but it deflects behind. There's going to be another England corner. The corners keep racking up. I do wonder if we have a short corner option here now, just to throw a bit of, cat amongst the pigeons almost, do something uninspected. And that was a great header there, although it did look on the replay from behind Gahey, it might not be going in the back of the net actually, Reece.
Yeah, it was going wide there from what I was seeing, but I think this game has proven to Thomas Tuchel that Rashford and Saka need to be starting those later games in the competition, which I think they will do, because Gordon and Madueke for me haven't done enough in this game to warrant starting.
No, I'd agree with that. Here we go. Cross fingers from the England fans in the stadium here, just hoping they can get it in. We've got Barber coming on here for Ghana as well as a last-minute change, and he's running into that penalty area. We've got 1 minute to go here. There will be a bit more added on because no doubt this substitution is taking a bit of time as well. Gahey, O'Reilly, everyone up for England. Going to be chipped in again towards the near side of the 6-yard box. Once again, Ghana get there first, though, and there's a push in the box. It's going to be a free kick to Ghana. Looks like we're heading toward 0-0. Reece.
Yeah, it's a disappointing one. We might have one more chance here. Depends how long Ghana take on this free kick here, because obviously I'm sure the referee will have to add on the time here. Because Ghana have done really well in disrupting our game here, but whether I like it or not, but that's not the point. They've done what they needed to do, and that could be a point that gets them into the next stage of the competition.
Yeah, long ball forward from Ghana here. We literally got a few seconds left unless the referee has any more run. Interesting enough, they just brought on Barber for Ayew, who's a guy they brought on probably about 20 minutes earlier. So I don't understand what's happened there. But anyway, England now winning the ball back with Declan Rice. Back to Gahey. You've got to start going long here, lads. The time is ticking. And Gahey's passed it back to Pickford instead. Got to go long. Pickford is going to go long. He's going to pump it towards the goal. There's going to be Rashford waiting for it at the far side. It's going to be well intercepted by Ghana. And he puts his foot through it. And that is going to be that, I believe. Referee has blown, and it is 0-0.
Very poor game. I expected a bit more from the lads there. But I think the positives we can take away from that, it's a clean sheet. So that is very good. Obviously, Ghana players are going on there celebrating like they've won the World Cup there, But anyway, fair play to them. They did what they needed to do to get the result, and that could secure them their place in the latter stages of the competition there. But very poor from England.
Yeah, full time from Boston. England 0, Ghana 0. Chris.
It can't get any worse than that, can it?
It can.
Calm down. Calm down. We've not.
I'm calm. I'm calm. Look, it was disappointing.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that, you know. And I said right at the start, have we as fans and the press and all that, have we got to will we believe in our own publicity? Because, you know, we started with the hardest game. You know, whatever happens in the game later on tonight, we're still going to be top of the league, of the table, sorry. And I just think we're going to come up against these games. You said it yourself, Reese, earlier on. You said it yourself. I'm just going to go through some of these scores here from earlier. Qatar 1, Switzerland 1. Haiti 0, Scotland 1. Yeah, they're all, you know, tight games. Where are we? Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. Belgium 1, Egypt 1. Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 1. Iran 2, New Zealand 2. You know, you are going to come up against teams like this and games like this. I don't think this means we can't still win the World Cup.
No, I agree with you, Chris. I mean, I'm just looking at the comments here. Not good enough and disgraceful. I think that's a bit extreme there from Dorco. There was it good? Was it a good performance? No, but I think the subs made an impact. I thought Rashford and Saka done well when they come on, and I think they will be the starting wingers going forward. And it's shown in that game. They've got that world class quality in them. But I think we're going a bit over the top. We're still top of the group. Ghana are a tough team to break down. They've got a reputation in this competition, and at the end of the day, it's like I said earlier on in the game. Is it disaster for Spain because they drew to Cape Verde? Yeah. No, because no one's talking about it. But because England have drew to Ghana, oh, it's this and it's that. Calm down. It doesn't matter.
Well, we were talking about it at the time, but Portugal 1, Congo 1. You know, I mean, these results have been happening. You know, we've all been saying, like, well, I have anyway, fantastic 48 teams. We're seeing the Cape Verdes, we're seeing the Congos, you know, we're seeing the Haitis. And when they come and they give us a bit of a game, you know, we can't moan. They you know, Ghana played to get a point because that's what they probably thought was the best thing they could do.
Yeah, and you say as a manager whose game plan works. Look, this is one thing. Enzo Maresca could not break teams down like this when we were in the Championship. You know, they just sat in the low block. He just couldn't do it. And not only Leicester in the Championship, everybody, Spain can't do it. I mean, Spain could not score a goal in one of the recent, was it in the last match? So,
Cape Verde. Oh, we've lost Wayne.
Wayne has frozen.
Oh,
we were having this trouble.
Over to the left.
Oh, he's back. Sorry, mate, you froze then. Are you with us, Wayne?
Yeah, I froze, did I?
You froze, yeah, we lost you, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, so, you know, I like the way he swapped things around. He made the substitutions. Ghana are physically quick. They're dangerous on the break, as all teams are. And we did have a lot of good chances, you know, and Kane missed a sitter. So we could have won it 1 or 2. So close but no score. I'm certainly not saying that was an absolutely shite performance at all, no.
Look, I mean, Prashant said that Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia and still won the World Cup. King Elm said he fell asleep.
Just proves my point.
Yeah. I mean, Tom, if we'd beaten Croatia 1-0 and then we'd got a 0-0 with Ghana following that, we wouldn't be feeling like we feel now. It was the fact that it was a 4-2 game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, you know, it's not ideal. Obviously, 2 teams turned up today with 2 very different game plans, and one of them excelled more than the other one, and that was Ghana. You know, and that's the reality of it. The interesting thing is we've got a similar game coming up next against Panama, and you think, look, I get the negativity and all the rest of it. And there's a part of me that's quite upset that we didn't get the job done. Maybe a little bit more quality in the finishing would have made a massive difference. I could definitely say, look, the passing wasn't exactly on point today. That's a big part of it. The commitment to the final third wasn't exactly there today. The set pieces weren't particularly lacking as well. And that gives you 3 things you could definitely work on heading into Panama, doesn't it? I think you've got to work on those things and get them right. And then if you can do that, then it's all in your hands. But yeah, I think to jump on them now, let's be a little bit cautious, because there was signs there of frustration in the team already, which shows there is a willingness, to do better than what was being done. And if we jump on them too early, could it tip the scales into then we have a shock defeat at Panama and your World Cup's over, or you're going into a third place thing where it's very, very difficult mentally, right? So, yeah, so look, we got the point. Let's hope we can build from it. Hopefully next time we're doing this with Panama, it's a different outcome.
Reece, I mean... That pose, mate. That pose.
I'm calm, mate. I'm calm. I'm
No,
relaxed.
you look like all you need is a knotted hanky on your head, and you'd be typical Brit abroad.
You look like you're at the Playboy Mansion back in the day with about 4 girls behind the webcam just waiting for you, mate.
Yeah, my missus can be the model for me.
Your missus, but with the burp she makes, I tell you what. I tell you what, she's let herself down tonight. If that had come out the other end, she'd have needed to change her underwear. Let me just say, Reece, I mean, look. Yeah. And I did have a question at that point. I've forgotten what it is now.
You silly.
Yeah, Nate said, this is it. Nate said it's all about getting out the group stage.
Spot on.
And, we're top of the group still.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Croatia win against Panama, which you probably think they will do. That will give them 3 points. Then Croatia have got to come up against Ghana. So that's not necessarily going to be easy for them. So, I don't think we've got anything to really worry about. We didn't concede, did we? I mean, that was the thing. We could have easily conceded, and there was a couple of times there I was doing a Mrs. R and thought I would have to change my underwear. But, we managed to get away with it. Lady was looking down on us with that ooze. I think it could have been a penalty and a sending off, but it is all about getting out the group stage, isn't it?
Yeah, Nate's spot on, Chris, and you're spot on there, mate. It's all about getting out of the group. We've got to remember we've never won all the group games. I can't recall a time where we won all the group games. Got 9 points from 9. And again, like Nate said, Saudi Arabia beat Argentina. Argentina went on to win the World Cup. The amount of pressure that would have been on them in that second game to get a result, but they got it. At the end of the day, this is not where you're going to see the best of England in this tournament. You're going to see the best of England when they come up against a Brazil, an Argentina, a Spain, where Thomas Tuchel's tactics will come into play, and that's you never want to peak. Yeah, you're spot on, Steve. You don't want to peak too early, and I thought I was worried we were going to peak too early there.
I tried saying that to my wife many times, and she said, "No, you're not using that as an excuse."
Well, no, exactly. Brilliant.
Hey, Chris, 3 seconds in heaven's better than 1 second in heaven.
That is true. That is true. Wayne, let me ask you. No, I'm not going to ask you if you ever peaked early or not. Don't worry. But what I want to ask you
depends if I wanted to watch Match of the Day, mate, or not.
Well, Good answer. Well, I want to say one of the best, apart from Brazil, the next international team that has won the World Cup is, well, it's equal second, Italy and Germany. How often, when they were at their peak, Germany, did they start off slowly? And we used to say this about the Germans, they built into the tournament. And as the tournament went on, they got better.
Yeah, Spain the same. Spain notoriously starts slowly in tournaments. And how many have they won? And look, we joint top with Ghana 4 points. Panama and Croatia have no points. I know they've still got to play, but look, we're in a good position. How many tournaments have we been in where we've drawn the first game or lost the first game or drawn the first two, stop clutching at straws. We've got 4 points. Low block teams, everybody. Belgium drew 0-0 with the team, didn't they? You know, so a lot of teams are not mugs. Ghana were a bit dangerous, and yeah, some people called it that it would be a difficult game.
Tom, I mean, Brazil only managed to put 3 past Haiti. You know, Ghana aren't going to come here and attack us, because that would almost be like, you know, suicide, wouldn't it, for them? So they're going to go and play. They're going to say, right, you come and break us down. We weren't able to do that today, but we weren't playing. You know, France won't do that to us. Spain won't do that to us. Germany won't. It's going to be different games, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, again, is we've got to sort out before Panama, because you're going to put yourself in a position where it's a similar game, and then they might nick the most unlikely of victories, and things looking a bit more darker, right? The interesting thing about it, Chris, is you can see the frustration on the players, right? You can see the frustration, and there was a couple of pointing at fingers, you know, between Madueke and Rice for one. You know, Rice just did a post-match interview there where he looked incredibly dejected and frustrated by it. And look, you know, like that can actually be quite counterproductive now in the moment, because I think, like it's been said by Prashant really eloquently there about telling his students it's better to make mistakes in the classroom and then learn from it, right? Being frustrated now and starting pointing fingers at each other is only going to lead us one direction from here, and that is another frustrating performance and another disappointment next time out. Instead, actually, if you can sort of have that little bit of, okay, we need to work on this, we need to make sure our passing accuracy is better, the knowledge of what we're going to be doing, you know, individually as players, like the overlapping runs, who's going to be where at what time. We can work on that going to the next one. We can turn this difficult game tonight into a positive for the next one. So yeah, I think that's what a lot of it is, and I think that will be how we either live or die by this. But I would certainly say that it's definitely the sort of performance that makes you go, okay, 45 minutes against Croatia, you kind of go, well, you know, you were lifting the trophy, and you kind of got that impression the team could do something after that. But then you have 90 minutes here where you go, maybe we spoke a bit too soon, which shows you the complexities of a World Cup tournament as well, doesn't it?
And Germany, Reece, yes, last night, they had to come from behind to beat the Ivory Coast.
Exactly.
And that was by a substitution. So, like I say, let's not get too down about this. I think the thing that worries me is we had 19 shots in that game, which isn't necessarily particularly not good, but it's not bad. But only 3 of those are on target. And that's the sort of thing at this level, from a team that's the 4th best team in the world, allegedly, that's got to be higher, hasn't it?
It has, and I think Thomas Tuchel's not stupid. He's not silly. He knows that he needs to improve on that. You know, so you know he's a very clever man, Thomas Tuchel. He'll look at that and think, right, let's get back to work on the training ground. He's not one to, you know, sulk and do this, say this and that. He'll look and go, right, what do we need to improve on? And he knows we'll need to improve on that. You know, he's a world-class manager, you know, whatever we think, you know, being German and whatnot. But no, yes, it does need to be better. We can all agree it needs to be better. But when the more world-class players come on, like Saka and Rashford come on, we upped the tempo and we made a lot of chances. And we should have scored. But we were creating more chances when we had the better players on the pitch. You've got to remember, we're not playing with our first 11 at the minute.
Indeed, look, Wayne... also, I didn't mean to hide that comment. I'm on a run. Sorry, don't know what you mean there, mate. Elevator and escalator, well done. Ivory Coast are a good team, though.
Were you just watching? Sorry, Chris. Were you just watching that thing about the penalty, Tom?
I haven't got the sound on, mate. So I couldn't hear what they were saying. What did they say?
So basically, what they're saying is that Ghana should have had a penalty. Konsa. You know that one where he's running through, where he nearly gets that chance, and then Konsa casting
He was offside. Yeah.
It should have been a penalty. Even the referee in the studio says that should have been a penalty.
Yeah, was the offside after that or before it? That's what I couldn't understand, because I thought Fatawu was ball, not just because he's Leicester, because obviously I'm not in that mindset with him now anyway. I thought he played a perfect ball. I thought he was onside.
I mean, from what I saw, the offside was given as part of that move. So if he's offside, if he's offside, you can't give the penalty, can you?
No, exactly. No, but it's interesting
and
because
obviously,
when was the offside is the question, isn't it? Because I thought it might be blown for afterwards, after that had happened, and then there was a movement afterwards. So interesting.
the thing we've got to accept, Wayne, I guess, is the fact that VAR here is generally a lot quicker, and we don't always see the replay straight away. Look, back in the old good old UK, where VAR takes 5 minutes to decide if somebody needs to tie the bootlaces up, and you see it from like 10 different angles before a decision's made. Look, Lady Luck smiled on us. He says, the referee in the studio says it was a penalty. The referee on the pitch said it wasn't. 3 people sat in the VAR room would have looked at it. They would have had to have looked at it and said it wasn't. So I think that's 4-1 to the wasn't. So I think we got away with that one. What have we, I mean, if we play like that against Panama, Wayne, will we win? Or do we have to make changes?
I think we could have won this game. I think we had enough chances. Kane skied from the O'Reilly header, which was a brilliant header, to be honest. He's quite tall, O'Reilly. Got up really well. Great attacking intent as his vendor. And it hit the bar and just came down on the line, didn't it, near the goalpost. And Kane, I mean, he did have enough time to set himself, and he should have finished that, Kane. That was definitely... We could, I think... Although we struggled to break them down, I think we could and should have won that game because I think we had enough decent chances to win it.
Yeah. So I make Steve a mod, and he goes and hides everybody's comments.
I was going to say if that's what Steve means, you have to unblock Dorco, mate. Yeah.
No, he's only hid it. He only hid it, I think.
Oh, okay, no worries. Interesting quick one, Chris, while you sort that out. I was just thinking about this. You talk about the shots. We had 11 shots and 4 on target, whatever it was. Stats are a funny thing in sports in general for me because there's twofold to them. Number one, they can be great for analytics in the process of like sorting a team and how you set a team up. But also the second thing, which is the downside to which I worry about this season with Russell Martin and Leicester a little bit, they can give you an out. They can give you an out to go, we had 11 shots, 4 on target. We should have won the game, right? The reality is, looking back at the game, we might have had more shots. We might have had more shots on target. I don't think they were quality chances. Same with XG, isn't it? It's a similar thing they use nowadays, which you go, well, is that actually a true indication, or is it a bit more nuanced than that, right? So yeah, I think it's interesting because I think where we did create some chances, I can only remember the 1 or 2 in the end of the game where I go, we probably should have scored those and we didn't. Outside of that, I got to give Ghana full credit for today because Ghana turned up with their game plan and they were absolutely perfect in what they did. And also the physicality they brought towards the end of the game. It turned into an ice hockey game, didn't it? It was like bang, 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 shoulders, elbows out. And I really respect that because I kind of think that's when a team like England's going to come at you and you're an underdog team like a Ghana, whatever. You've got to kind of show something to go, you're not going to do it to us, mate. So credit to them. I think they did that very well.
Reece, what would you change then for Panama?
I think you got to get Saka on the pitch, get more minutes in his leg, give him like 60, 65 minutes, really get him up to full match fitness. He looked quite sharp when he come on anyway, though he's not fully match fit. So that was a positive to see. I think we need to see Rashford. I think we need to change the wingers. I think them 2 wingers are not good enough to play those big games, really. I would give Bellingham a rest. I'd give Bellingham a rest potentially, maybe Rice as well. Because as it stands, guys, if it stays as it is, we're going to play DR Congo in the round of 32. So it's not a bad opposition to come up against. But just going back to what Wayne said about O'Reilly there, I said we should make that change to get more technical players, but also how tall he is as well. And obviously, I nearly called it there. He nearly got the goals.
you nearly did get the lottery number.
Oh yeah. I'd have been sat here with my foot up. I'll be sat here like Uncle Clibbo in his robe, Chris.
If anybody hasn't seen that, I can't remember what it was on the World Cup show, the World Cup battles. There was an amazing photograph that I managed to get hold of Clibbo in his kimono, white socks and Jesus sandals. It's a very nice thing put together. Wayne, last question is we go around then. Look, we're going to have a poor. I mean, we're going to have a poor performance. You can't play 9, 10 games, whatever it is now, and win every single one and play brilliantly in every one. Is it a case of, yep, we've done that. That wasn't good. We've got it out of our system now.
Yeah, look, you are going to come across a team with a low block. That's it. Spain did it, or Belgium did it, and they will be dangerous on the break. And we've just come across a team like that. As Tom said, they executed the game plan. But I was encouraged with the chances. I like the way he switched the wingers, so he had a left-footed winger on the left. Because if you got like 4 and 5, 2 banks, you're not going to cut inside. Cutting inside doesn't work. You've got to get the wingers and get the balls in the box. And I do think we look quite, we had some good chances with headers from crosses, and that's because he swapped Madueke round. O'Reilly is a line-breaking runner because he used to play as a number 10 defence, and he's got a load of goals for Man City. So maybe he needs to start some of these people, because Gordon, I think, has had a disappointing World Cup for me so far. And Madueke, so we've got options there, and you need line breakers and you need wingers to get the ball in the box. That's why I would have brought someone like Ollie Watkins on as well, actually.
Well, I was going to say, you mentioned Ollie Watkins. And I want to say, last question to you, Tom. Do you stick with Kane?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think out of all the players on the pitch, he's the one I wouldn't change. Look, we look at him as an out-and-out forward, but that's not the role he's going to fit in a 2-shell formation, which is actually going to be more of a false 9. And he is head and shoulders one of the only players that can probably play that position for us, as well as, I don't think Tony can do that. He's going to be more of, a complete forward at best, maybe more of a target man. So, no, I think Kane's the one thing I wouldn't change, because I think he's very important into how the rest of the team plays around it as well. It's very important this group doesn't defeat itself, and I think today was the first sign that it has that in them. We haven't really seen that so far, and it's not a question that's come up, but there seemed to be like a defeat nature about some of the frustration we saw as well. And I think, it's an idea maybe to refresh one or two of the players. Definitely, I think Reece, sorry, mate. Reece and Wayne have
They
come some
called
good
you Chris
ideas.
earlier, mate. You go for it.
Oh, it's been a hot day over here, hasn't it? We're not used to it like you, Nate. So we're all losing our frigging minds here. You can see by the colour. But I think it's very important the group don't defeat themselves from this. Any frustrations, they've got to find a way to park at the door and then go again. Because as we said there about Panama, they might only have to play for pride. Ironically, we've seen a Ghana team play with pride tonight, and that can get you a long way in life. Hey, we're Leicester fans, and we played with pride. We went on great escapes and won Premier League. So we're talking to the people that know about this the most.
once a team is out, which Panama could be tonight, once a team is out, then they do play with, it's like when the team's relegated, they play with a lot less ease. Very last question to you, Reece. Look, they've started doing these, and I tend to do these in the watch-alongs on the reviews. The match momentums. I mean, I've never seen one that's been as one-sided as that before.
Yeah, I mean, that just shows you the game plan that Ghana wanted to play, sit in a low block and try and hit us on the counter. And that little spike there at the end was probably that chance, I think, where they should have had the penalty, but it got ruled as offside. So, but look, at the end of the day, I try not to read too much into stats and obviously all that, but at the end of the day, if we go and beat Panama 6-0, this game will all be forgotten about, won't it?
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
Doesn't that match momentum chart just kind of prove my point about how stats can be used as an out sometimes?
Yes. Agreed. Agreed.
Anyway, sorry, Chris, carry on.
No. Any set of stats, anything you read, you give it to 3 people. 3 people will read it differently and come up with 3 different answers. Guys, thank you very, very much indeed. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and we're going to be reviewing how big a gamble Russell Martin really is. We're going to be going through with Tom that. Wayne will be back at lunchtime on Thursday when the fixtures are revealed.
Woohoo!
Which is always a joke because
Can we predict between us before we go who we're going to get, Chris? Just in a minute.
what's that? The first game of the
Yeah, first game of the season. Yeah. All of us have name a team home and away, and maybe in the chat as well for a laugh. What do you reckon?
Well, if you want to. All I'll say very, very quickly, and I don't know if any of you guys are on TikTok, and I can send you the link, but I love TikTok. I've got this attention span of a goldfish, so TikToks are brilliant for
Chris
me.
is down with the kids.
Yeah,
Down
yeah, there is that. Yeah. Make it, mate. Take it. But no, it's the 10 seconds long, which is about when I get bored. But there was a very good one on there, and it might have been on YouTube. I don't know about how these fixtures are chosen.
Okay.
Okay.
I watched that and thought, I didn't realise that. You have to take into account policing. That has to be taken into account. You've got to be taking into account other sports that might be being played in that town on that day. So it isn't just a random, thing. It's very, very interesting. I'll start this off. I am going to go for an away trip to Boreham Wood.
Boreham Wood aren't in our league, Chris. We're not that relegated
Not
yet.
Boreham
Do you
Wood,
mean Bromley?
Bromley.
Yeah.
Boreham
Boreham
Wood in
Wood,
the National
we will be
League.
seeing Boreham Wood next season. Let's be honest, we will.
You silly.
Well, I'm going for Bromley away then.
Right.
Boreham, yeah, sorry, I thought I thought you meant the cup. Did you not mean the Ventura Cup? Sorry.
We've drawn in that. We've got Walsall and thingy, haven't we? Yeah.
No, they've drawn 3. Well, yeah. I mean, there's another cup as well. There's going to be 2 cups and a league games revealed tomorrow. So if in the cup it's Boreham Wood, but if he's in the league, I'm going for Bromley away.
Right.
There you go. Got out of that one. Reese.
I think it's an away trip to Luton.
Oh, top of the table.
And just quickly, I want to win that Johnson Paint Trophy. I want to win that.
That's a really
you've not
high
won
quality brand of paint. I've used it often. It's a quality brand.
It is, isn't it? Hey, wait, something we've not won yet.
Trophy.
So-
It's a trophy, and this team needs winning mentality.
True. But by the same principle, we've not won League Two, and let's not go into that conversation, right, guys?
Yeah,
I'll check my prediction.
As Steve said there, I'm quite right with you, Steve. Wayne?
Leighton Orient at home.
Oh, okay.
One of
And,
our former players managing it. Yeah.
and Tom?
I'll go Notts County at home.
Oh, the derby, the big derby.
Yeah, we'll get it out of the way early. Notts County at home.
Oh,
It is. You're right. Has anybody done anything in the chat? Huddersfield at home, says Steve. Boxing Day at Reading and Bradford last game. Do you know something we don't?
The last 3 seasons. The last 3 seasons we've had. The last 4 seasons we've had away at home games.
And that was something else as well in that video. No team in any league is allowed to have 2 home games as their last 2 games or 2 away games as the last 2 games. And that's why, if you remember last season, every team, if they're playing away, before that they had 2 home. Or if they're playing home on the last game, the 2 before that were away. You can't have 2 homes as the last 2 games or 2 aways. You see, you think I just throw this together. I know me stuff, even if I don't know what fucking league Bromley are in or whatever, Boreham Wood, whatever.
It's a good reason to check out the show with Wayne when you do the fixtures, Chris. You have all the answers to why it's happened the way it has.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, Chris? When you mentioned you got Steve, Huddersfield, Reading, and Bradford. You only mentioned, was it earlier on or yesterday, about it? We were off. Nearly had Coutinho. You know what I mean?
Yes, 5 years
Here
ago,
we are.
we nearly signed. Well, we were offered Coutinho from Barcelona.
Roger's
Was it
not
5
done
years? Was
Bailey.
it more than that? No, it was more than 5 years, wasn't it? Yeah, it was pre-FA Cup, I think. Guys, look, I don't know about you 3. I've got a bed to go to. Reece probably isn't in any hurry because his girlfriend will have been farting under the quilt. So it'll actually probably be floating above the bed.
Yeah.
And they'll warn them, Reese. It's allowed. Just make sure she doesn't follow through. Reese, Wayne, and Tom.
End it there. End it there.
It's over. It's over, I tell you. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. 7 o'clock tomorrow. I'll see you with Tom. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Have a good night. And look, there's only one game. Let's not get too disappointed. Good night, all.
That's it for another show, and from all the team at Leicester Till I Die TV. Thanks for watching, listening, and getting involved. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another show. Memberships are also available. Check out the link in the description below. Until next time, football fans, keep the faith and keep it Leicester Till I Die.
That's all, folks.